We are recording. All right. The draft is over. We're going to talk about some of the rookies and stuff like that, and we'll talk about the new season coming up. And I have Millman here, Arizona, GM, Boots, which is Moon. Why am I blanking?
No, it's Moontown, that's right.
Moontown, yes, and Mattis,
Yeah.
MIJB, which everyone knows him, and he's here too, waiting for Grim, and I think someone else is going to be joining in. But we'll start with you guys want to talk about how you like the draft? I think someone's coming on right now. Let's see who this is. Oh, it's Rick. How you doing, Rick? Can you hear us? Hello?
Maybe he's on mute, maybe.
Yeah, he is.
Might have to unmute himself.
Rick, if you can hear us, unmute yourself.
I'm not surprised he wants to join the call after the first round he just had.
Which team is Rick again?
North Plainfield.
North Plainfield, that's it.
Yeah, he got the best running back and best safety, or second best safety, who's still very good.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Rick? Okay. Rick, when you get your sound, you can just chime in.
He's the strong, silent type, so we'll just start.
No, man, let's start with you.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the draft?
I'll be honest. I didn't look too much at the top of the class outside of the first QB that went, who obviously looked good, and he's revealed, but he's very green. So I think that'll be fun for us in our division, facing Chicago with this guy, because he's going to do some damage, but then I think he'll still be very raw for a while. Only 17% developed. But I think that's good for Chicago. I think they've got their franchise QB there without a doubt. He looks really good. And then there's the usual run of receivers and left tackles. There was a couple of busts in this draft. I'm trying to think who had them. Yeah, not these guys. These guys all look great.
Rochester, that left tackle, I think, was the first one.
Yeah, if you ever look at that guy, not to jump straight to pick 9, but this guy I thought looked great. And when I know Wes from the RZB, I thought, he's a good drafter. I thought when he picked this guy, that's a fantastic pick. But when Ben released the post the other day that has the top 10 biggest drops on it, he was like the second biggest, I think, or the third biggest. So, like, if you click on his bars, it will say what his ratings were before. Yeah, so he was going to be like a 70 future overall.
Wow. This is Big House, yes?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
So what do you think happened to this guy? Because of his volatility. Oh, it's high, but it's not extremely high.
No, but
it feels like a
random.
Yeah. A drop that
Can
big.
You guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you now.
Okay,
Hi,
I had
Rick.
to switch to my iPad instead of my phone. My phone wouldn't let me unmute, so I just said, screw it, I'll just cut bait and go to my iPad.
Nice. But yeah, so that was unfortunate. I thought for Wes that guy dropped. And I know Howie had a few drops, but I can't remember where he picked. But yeah, so the top of the class I thought was pretty good. But it'd be what you'd expect. The QB, then the runner receivers. That left tackle that Iowa got looks crazy. I think he's an over 90 rate future player.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was the best
Oh,
player
yeah, 88,
in the draft, right?
Yeah, probably the best tackle I've ever seen.
I tried to trade up for this guy to the number 3 pick. So,
I mean, with a guy like that, you just hope that he plays as long as he can, and that he doesn't retire any earlier than 13, 14 seasons or whatever, because he'll be great.
24 years old is the only slight negative, maybe.
Yeah. But in terms of pure bars, he's the best tackle I think I've ever seen.
Tackles, well, linemen, you can get them to go 34 years old, correct? 34, 35. Like he'll go to maybe 35 years old because his bars are so high.
Yeah, I think when I think about it, I think about the amount of years, like the years experience, rather than the actual how old they are. So
Correct.
there's a page in the help file called "How Should Retirement Be Determined," and on that it's got the year or the season, should I say, that the player's peak is scheduled to end according to gym and everything. And for tackles and offensive linemen, I think it's the 12th season. So 12 seasons, you can expect them to play up to that point, and then after that, I guess it's kind of a dice roll as to whether they're going to retire or whether they're going to come back almost every year. But they can retire earlier, I think, if they have injuries or if they're not very good or whatever. But that's kind of how I interpret it anyway, after speaking to a few different people about it. So it tends to be 12 seasons in. That's when I start looking at my tackles and thinking, are they going to retire or not? Because actually, a couple of seasons ago, I lost a tackle who was still 70 rated, but it was his like 14th season or something. So even if they're still good, they can hang it up.
Yeah,
Your guy. Sorry, am I Jimmy?
you go
I
ahead.
was just going to say quickly that your tackle Parish. No man, he has the most seasons experience in the league at the moment, 15.
Yeah, and he's someone that I signed last year. He didn't play for me, but he came from Chicago. I think I signed him as like a stopgap because I just gave him 10,000 bonus and then a bigger regular season salary just to have a left tackle on the roster. But yeah, he's got 15 seasons experience.
Yeah, and there's two guys with 14. So a lot of them retire before that, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like I say, I learned that the hard way. I had two good tackles, a right tackle and a left tackle, who were both still highly rated, and they just hit that 12th season, 13th season, and just both of them dipped out in the same off season. So I had no tackles. I went from having two great tackles. One of them had made all first team pretty much every year for the last 10 years, and he just retired. So it's not always down to how good they are.
Someone mentioned age, and then I also look at how much development does this person have? Because we always think about, well, we'd like to get him younger. And let's say he was 22 years old.
Yeah.
But his development might be at 15%.
Yeah.
So it might take until he's 24 to get to the 68% he is right now. So does it really matter the age if the development's so off? Like if he was right now at 15% at 24 years old, then you're like, wow, I still have to build up a couple more seasons before you can get to 100%. You follow me? So you're losing that, but you're not losing it here because he's already at 68%.
Yeah, he's in good shape. I mean, if you look at his blocking bars or whatever, they're already coming in at mid to late 60s, and his blocking strength, obviously his static is 90, 80. So there's not a lot of room for him to come in and be a liability. He's going to come in and be a good blocker straight away. But I think the hard thing with the offensive line is, other than getting a mentor and then going through training camp, you have to play them. So you have to roll with the offensive linemen from day one to get the experience. Otherwise they just never go up quick enough. If you just, if you sit them for ages, hoping that they'll keep getting a bump from a mentor. So,
does anyone know if you have to keep the mentor on the team for the whole season, or is it only for the training camp?
I've heard that it's most effective at the role, like the training camp. The role for training camp is when they get their big bump from it.
And then you can.
I tend to disagree. I think having a mentor means something about having like double the chance of improvement every game that your guy plays.
Yeah.
And I also think the mentor makes it not just double the chance, but also bigger.
Bigger step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
Marginal, but it's about double. That's
no way to
my take
measure
on
it,
it.
so we just have to go with what the running thought process is.
Let me let somebody in. What was that, Rick, by the way?
Well, I said there's no real way to measure it or prove it, but it's always best to just have them there for a player you really want to develop. That's my thought process.
Yeah, I agree. It's always worth trying to get a mentor in.
Yeah, I always wondered if you have the mentor for only the training camp and you dump them after, do you not benefit from it, that you should always have it on
There's
your
no way
team
to know.
after the third year? Hey, Jugs, how are you?
He might be on mute as well.
He might be on
Yeah,
mute.
Yeah.
But Jugs,
he's
Jugs and
muted.
Grim will know this. Hey, Grim.
Hey.
What's your thought on that as well?
On what?
Mentor.
Oh, I always try to have them on every position if I can, and I'll keep them all season. So, I mean, I don't think they just matter in training camp. Like MIJB said, I think they matter all year long. So I love having mentors.
And then after the third year, then you just toss them if you don't have anyone that's...
Well, you know, I usually, yeah, I mean, I don't toss them if they have value to my team, you know, but I always try to have some young guys coming up. So like a mentor, you know, like my defensive end, Tristan Harlan, he's been on the team for probably, he's worthless now, but probably he's been on the team for what, 12 years now? He's a defensive end, brother. Inactive up there, Tristan Harlan.
Tristan Harlan.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, look at it. He's worthless. He's 34. He's probably going to retire soon, but he's been a mentor for 8 years. So all that time, I've had a young defensive end coming up, and I haven't been drafting them well, like I believe I said the last show. But yeah, I like to have a mentor at every position if I can.
Okay. I was always wondering about the mentor. Is it only for the training camp, or is it you keep them the whole season?
I think the benefit is bigger during the season because you get the chance every single game.
Hey, Jugs, can you hear us now?
Looks, yeah, there he is. All right.
Can you guys
unmuted.
hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. There you are. All right, brother. Nice.
Yeah. So
Hey,
Nice
Jugs.
to-
the mentor has an effect for the first 3 seasons of a player's career.
And yes.
After
And
3
so you
seasons,
want
it
to keep.
doesn't matter.
So you would just want to keep them on your roster for those 3 seasons. Like if you have a rookie quarterback, first year, second year, third year, you want to make sure the memento is always there.
Right, unless that player develops faster than the full 3 seasons.
Now, yeah, you just make a good point. Let's say your player reaches 100% development, and it's the second year, let's just say. Do you keep it on your team, the mentor, just in case it makes it pop more? Maybe?
No, I don't. There's
Yeah, you cut out Jugs.
Jugs? We can't hear you, Jugs.
that doesn't make any. The only way. What about now?
There you
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the only way I would keep him is if I had another young player at that position group. Otherwise, there's just no benefit to keeping him.
I'm close to agree with this. There's just one tiny little thing. Some players, when they reach the full potential, sometimes they take another step up. Not because of the mentor, but because there's some hidden masked thing going along. So sometimes the player goes from this guy on the screen, he might reach 70 and then he looks like a 70 guy, but maybe he still can grow to 75. So having the mentor makes it happen a little bit quicker.
This kind of makes me think, like, another question for everyone, really. What do you guys think about when a prospect has got hardly any green on his bars left, but his development percentage is like 55% or something? Do you think that's what do you believe? Do you believe the development percentage, or do you believe the bars in that instance? Like Clay, if you look on my roster, I've got a guy on there, but he's a nothing player, but he's a bit of an example of this running back who's like Is it Jared Stewart? I think. Yeah, that's him.
Hold on. Let me get back to him.
He's just one more from there. So he's like 51% developed, but the amount of green versus red on his bars makes me think that he doesn't still have 49% of his development to come. So what do you guys make of a situation like this?
Typically, I lean towards the percentage of development. If you look at Fairbanks, the rookie running back they drafted, I think he shows something like 50% developed. He actually should get to 70 overall. But if you just look at his bars, it doesn't look like he's going to get it. But if he fully develops, he should get over 70.
This guy right here, Miles Buckley.
Yeah, that guy.
He also dropped quite a bit after PS2 as well. So maybe we're just not seeing him right as well.
There's another thing that I thought of based upon your question, Melman. There are certain bars that raise someone's ratings, and I'll give you an example. Let's say a defensive tackle. If he has a good run stop, his rating goes up.
Yeah.
But if he has a good pass technique and a bad run stop, his ratings don't go as high. So maybe sometimes it's the certain bars that are bringing it up.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
well,
they're
the
weighted differently.
The number one bar for the defensive tackle is the run defense bar.
Yeah. That's why sometimes overall rating isn't always the be all and end all. You know, there's that fringe value that you can get from players that might not have high overalls. They might be in the late 30s to late 40s or whatever, but they can have those high bars that actually affect the on-field stuff, you know. Because certain bars, because there's a thread on the IHOF from years ago where the guy who did Draft Analyzer shared the weights that he used on Draft Analyzer to calculate the overalls.
Stelmack.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Greg Stelmack. And some of those bars for certain players, you're like, I was looking at them thinking, I don't care that much about that bar, and yet it's like weighted the second heaviest in the overall. You know, so it's not always, depending on how you want to run things, you know, as a GM or whatever, or how you believe things affect things on the field. It's not always that important to have super high rated overalls for good players.
Right. So for defensive tackle, I mean, not to say I don't look at it, but the two things I look for in a defensive tackle is first run defense, second is endurance, and then third is play diagnosis. That's all I'm really concerned about. If he has a pass rush bar, hey, that's just a bonus. I just want him to stop the run.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's what I was looking for when I drafted my dud this year.
So we just started with the draft, and we brought up Big House's left tackle. Why do I have?
The guy that busted.
Yeah.
Now, was that a volatility hit?
I mentioned that he has a 65.
What was it? Click back on his bars, Clay, because he's got a 0 blocking strength, and I can't see that he would have been drafted there if he had a 0 blocking strength at the time.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Had to put that up.
Yeah. Yes, if you click on his bars again, Clay, so we can see what they were before he dropped. So he had like a 50 blocking strength bar that's now 0. That to me feels like it's got to be a volatility bust of some sort.
What's his number? What's his volatility number?
I think it's
65.
high. Yeah, 65.
Did he meet did he meet all the thresholds? When I looked at the guy, I was kind of surprised that he dropped. But for some reason, I never had him on my board. There was something about him why I didn't have him on my board.
What's his name? Joshua Jordan. I'll just have a quick look at him.
Yeah, the blocking strength and endurance kind of sucked.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, so I had his dash. His dash was at 489, which is like
Yeah.
100th percentile. So that's super fast.
Yeah, this has to be volatility bust for sure.
He had a high soul because he's in a good star group, and then his agility was in the 95th percentile. It was a 733, so he had like good blocking bar combines. His broad jump was in the 90th. He had all of his combines from my thing were in Malk Powell's top category. You know, on his post on FOFC, they were all in the 625. Is it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were all in those. So
Yeah, the combines look good, but those last 2 bars just didn't match it. So I wasn't even looking at him after that.
yeah.
Don't they?
And that might have been why I didn't have him on my board either. I remember looking at him and saying he looked pretty good, but for some reason, like I say, I can't think of it now, but he wasn't even in my shoot. He wasn't in my queue at all.
Didn't Mal Powell say something about this, that let's use, I think it's blocking strength. That's your static bar. And if it's not matching your combine, something's off.
Yeah, because with the static bar, I think it's like a what you see is what you get. It's not going to change that much. So if you've got like a low combine, this is my understanding of it, like for offensive linemen, let's say if you've got a low bench score, but a high blocking strength, that's more important because that blocking strength is what he's going to have regardless of his strength combine. But the other way around, if it's a low blocking strength bar and a high bench press score, it's almost like the bench press score doesn't count for as much because it's not going to bring that static bar up. But then there's all masking and scouting variants and all that stuff thrown into it. But that's how I understand it anyway.
Okay,
And
but
it's tricky if you got a player that has 2 static bars.
Oh, yeah.
okay, but
Yeah.
this guy had a bench press that's somewhere around a 50 in blocking strength, and that's how he was scouted.
Yeah, that's
Now he's got a 0. A 0 just means it's a completely random, huge loss of ratings. It means he's somewhere below 0.
oh yeah,
Just-
yeah.
It's just this guy is just completely random, and volatility is 65. So the odds were a slightly big higher to have this kind of bad luck, but it happens.
Yeah.
I don't think you can see this coming.
No, I agree. I don't think even if like I say, if you look at what he looked like before the draft, I wouldn't have put a red flag next to his name thinking, oh, he could go either way. I thought he looked pretty good.
Did he look like this?
No, he didn't look like. He didn't look anything
No.
like that.
No one looks like that guy. No one looks like
Not
that
even
guy.
close.
No,
Not even close?
No.
no,
My guy was close, but no.
no. That
Yeah,
guy's amazing.
Kelsey. I'm looking at Conscriptor, and he had 100 on every. I mean, for me, it was 73 to 100 on every single bar. So, he was going to be a stud.
Yeah. So he was before PS2. He was a 93 future, which is just insane. I've never seen anyone that high. I don't think. Crazy. And that's the
Yeah.
position. If you're going to get anyone on the O line, you want to get the left tackle. That's the position you want to chalk off and say, right, I've got a guy there for 14 seasons, 13 seasons. So he's going to.
Yeah, and he's about perfect size too. 6'5", 309.
Yeah.
Look at what Snapfinger picked up. Beautiful wide receiver.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Very nice.
He
He's
looks amazing.
45%. He's 21 years old. And there's where I'm talking about where development sometimes matters more than the age.
Yeah, I think 45. I think that's a good developed for 21 years old. The only thing is, obviously, his route running bar is a little underdeveloped, but that's fine because when it gets up past sort of 55, 60, he's going to be good.
Did you guys have somebody? I'm talking about Grimm and Jugs and in mind that you thought was going to be a surprise in the draft, or everyone was just what it was?
Me and Jugs were talking earlier with Chris, and he had a whole list of guys. I'll see if I can find that list, but there's a whole list of guys that busted. It was really fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. If you look at that post on the forum, I think Howie had like 4 of the top 5.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for him.
Let me go to it. That was training camp.
Well, some of
Right?
Howie's players were
No,
already on
it
his
was-
team. They weren't in this draft.
It was the PS1 and 3. Yeah, I think he had a couple of second-year guys, didn't he, as well, that busted. Which is sometimes that's almost worse because you kind of think you've got that position sorted. Like he had a 70 rated linebacker go from 70 to 40 in his third season. Like you just don't want that happening.
Yeah, that was bad.
Let's see.
It's only fair. Exactly the same thing happened to me last year. So
Here it
Yeah,
is.
I had it happen a few years ago as well.
Here it is. So his defensive end, Howie's defensive end took a hit, but it was in the second round he got this guy. But he was supposed to be a 65 and dropped down to a 31.
Yeah,
He had a guy on his team, a linebacker. That was a big hit.
yeah.
He was a 70. He dropped down.
And the cornerback dropped down from like 50, around about 48, 50 to
Yeah, but
25.
the cornerback could just be a guy that was heavily masked and
Yeah,
way overrated. The other
He's-
two,
yeah. He's a
they do
sixth
look like
rounder as well.
random.
Yeah,
I think, Big Houses was the only one. This right here, 1-9, is the one who took a big hit in the first round. Yeah. Oh, then this guy took a hit. Slams guy.
yeah. But
But
look,
he went down to a 70. Yeah. He went
yeah,
down to-
he's gone from an 83 to a 70. That's the kind of bust that I can handle if it goes down from an 83 to a 70. Happy with that.
Well, 83 to 70 is not really a bust. That's just the player
Yeah.
being unmasked in front
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah, exactly. It looked like there was a receiver that Julio took in the late second that lost quite a lot of rating as well, just from looking at that post.
Yeah, I think that guy busted.
Yeah,
Julio got a good quarterback.
man.
Yeah, that guy's
Right here.
that guy's avoid interception bar is awful.
Is it?
Yeah, it's absolutely
you could-
awful.
I guessed it would be just looking at his bars.
Man, I wanted him so badly. That kind of makes me feel a little bit better. What's his AI rating then? I'm gonna have to try and find that.
It was under 25 when I looked.
What?
No, it's 37 or something.
No, that's what's on the site.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Go by current
on the
ratings.
site,
if
it's
you're a
37.
scout, it's
Yeah,
under
yeah.
25.
yeah. I mean, he's pretty green though, isn't he? But yeah. Oh, that's rough then.
And then the other guy at Toronto took his was something like 11 or 12, something like that.
Yeah, he took him in
Toronto
the
picked up.
second round, I think.
Is that guy Carter?
Yeah,
Him.
yeah. Is his as bad as well? Is it?
But
Oh,
on the
51.
on the website, on the forum, it's showing as 51.
Yeah. That'd be good though. 51. If he can get up to 51, he can be a game manager. I'd be happy with an AI bar over 50, really.
Isn't it 51 now?
Yes, he has a 51.
That's what the league scout shows.
Yes, correct.
And it's a future rating.
It's a
Right.
future rating. Okay.
If you punch in his current ratings, the way they are now is something like an 11.
Right.
Okay.
Right. That's weird because I'd heard that the way you can kind of eyeball it, if a guy's going to have a bad AI, but he looks like a stud, is like that if his overall is it lower than it looks like his bars should be? But like the guy that Julio's got, he's got big bars and he's got quite a nice overall. So it's a bit confusing for me that his AI is in fact quite low.
No, it's not to me because avoid interceptions is one of those bars that also starts very green
Right.
and slowly develops, just like the short passing and the medium passing.
Well, he's got a rating of 67 and he can possibly be at. League has him at 66. I have him at 67. League has him at 66.
Yeah.
So if the future avoid rating is like 37, then it makes a lot of sense that the current is just 11.
Yeah. Do you think you can game plan around a low AI bar?
I can't.
I think so.
Yes, just work other bars.
Ask Grimmer. Grimmer's the king of getting QBs that aren't any good, and he hasn't been able to do it. So I don't think it's possible.
He's dreaming
been able
about
to do what?
32.
I say you are the king of getting garbage QBs
Oh,
and not being able to like tame that avoid interception bar.
yep.
What's worse, an interception machine or a sack machine? Someone getting sacked all the time.
Oh, I think interceptions personally.
Yeah, I think I can handle the sacks as long as the QB's not fumbling.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
You get the fumble with it.
Mm. Grim, what do you reckon about Gothenburg's quarterback? We looked at him just before, but he's got a particular characteristic which I think you infamously might not like this guy.
Shortness.
Yeah.
But I think, didn't Julio say that he has made a short guy work in another league too? But yeah, his avoid interception is 37.4 right now too. So we'll see. I mean, Julio's real good at making players work. Real good at it.
Apparently it's lower than that. Apparently that 37 is what it's going to be in the future. It's 11, Jugs was saying at the moment, or something like 11. That's why we were saying about, do you think you can deal with an AI bar that's like that? But is he primarily a running GM, or is he more balanced, Julio? I don't think I think of him as someone who's...
He's balanced.
Yeah, he's pretty
balanced.
balanced.
So he's not pass heavy. He's not going to have this guy in there throwing 600 times a season there.
He's leaning towards more running than passing.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Fairbanks running back, by the way, that he picked up at number 5?
Oh, that whole recognition bar. I'd like it to be 60 or more.
Yeah,
at the very least.
I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to go back up.
You'd hope so with that 50% developed. But I don't know. Running backs are a bit of a black box for me. I never really, unless I'm picking one of the top 3, I never really feel that confident if I'm going to get a stud or if they're going to be mediocre or whatever.
Did his whole recognition get a big drop?
Yes.
Let me take a look.
Almost
I'll
half.
pop it up on this.
I think it dropped like 20-something points.
Yeah, his volatility is like 87 too, so that might have been volatility drop there because his soul is the 35. His position drill is the 36. Those are both extremely high.
But with that soul, he's a smart guy. He's in the blue group, isn't he? So how much of that?
He's 100 intelligence.
Yeah. So I wonder if that whole rec is real. If the intelligence is 100, the route running is potentially in the 70s. I wonder if there's just nothing left in the tank for that whole recognition bar.
Yeah, because it's split between the 2.
Yeah.
And if one's eating up more.
Yeah, but again, he's only 50% developed though.
Yeah, that's the wild card factor in this, is we don't know what that 50% developed means for him.
Does it really hinder a running back that much if your whole recognition is not that high?
Depends on your offense.
Yeah, if you have a
I mean, if you're trying to run inside and outside, yeah, it makes a difference. If you just run outside and your running back's got a speed to the outside bar, you're fine. But if you're trying to run inside with them and outside and do everything, yeah, it makes a difference.
Is it more lost runs, lost yards? When you get the lost yards, they always used to say it's the elusive bar that gives you that a lot. If your whole recognition is also low, do you get a lot of lost runs?
If your whole and I don't have any data to prove this. I can just go by what my experience is from playing with numerous different types of running backs. If your elusive bar is just as high or higher than your whole rec bar, your running back is going to get hit for some losses. Just think of Barry Sanders. He's going to get hit for some losses. So typically, I try and look for a guy with a high whole rec bar and a low elusive bar. I mean, you're not going to find those all the time, but if I could find a guy that's got a high whole rec bar that's above 70 and his elusive bar is like under 30, that's perfect for me.
Yep. That's what I try to do too.
So does it mean this guy, because this guy's elusiveness is very low, so maybe his low
He's going to have a
ball
rough time.
recognition
'Cause
isn't a huge deal.
is the O line awesome? If it's not, he's going to struggle.
Oh, he's got a decent O line.
Okay, then he might be able to get 4.5 a carry.
I'll show you his O-line right now.
I mean, again, it also depends on what type of offense he's going to run.
Yeah,
He's got a
exactly.
quarterback now that's, what is his quarterback? 68 overall, somewhere around there?
His quarterback is.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
60.
so I mean, he may only give the running back the ball 220 times. He may want to pass.
Yeah, last
In
season
fact,
he
his running back is probably a good receiver out of the backfield. And I would do some of that.
His line is aging. His right guard's 10th season. His center is in his 14th season.
He drafted didn't he draft an offensive lineman this year?
yeah,
Did he get one in the second round?
he's got a guard
Right tackle.
and a tackle. Maybe
That's not good.
not that
That's-
guy. He's got a guard. That one, yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, he looks okay. So he ran the ball last season. He was 5th lowest carries. So he had 323 carries last year. So
Well, he's kind of always favored the pass. The only couple years I remember him really running the ball was when he had both those running backs. And then he ended up trading one of those running backs. And as soon as he traded the one running back, the other guy dropped.
yeah,
he must be trying to do more of a balanced offense because he didn't go for a wide receiver. And he could have picked up this guy, Rivera, who went right after his
looks
pick.
nice. Yeah. Special teams value as well with that punt return bar. I like that. It's a nice added extra.
So he might be going for a balanced offense. He's probably been watching you guys with your balanced offense succeed. And he probably said, hey, I might as well do that. I have a very good quarterback. Let me now get some good running backs on my team.
So for the running GMs in this chat at the moment, then would you just give Buckley 323 carries this year, or would you look to lean into him more? Would you ease off him a bit more? Do you think 323 sounds like a fair number for a guy that's looking like that in his rookie season?
I don't know. I don't know what his offensive line is. Are they run blockers or pass blockers or balance guys? I guess it would really depend on what the bars are for his offensive lineman.
His center and right guard are the run blockers. So
Yeah, he's got a run blocking right guard with 100 run blocking. So he's got some guys on there.
His center is the only one, and his right guard is the only one that has run blocking.
He's running it to the right. Because I'd be worried about trying to put too much of a load on that guy at the moment, just for fear that he'd be sub 4 yards per carry. I think.
Yeah, 15 carries and 5 or 6 passes is his take.
Yeah.
And then we have, like I said, Colorado picked up this wide receiver.
I told Grimmer and Chris a couple days ago, Colorado has the strongest roster in the league, and they've been like that the last 3 seasons. He should be winning 12 games a year. I think his issue is he's lacking a quarterback, and he can't game plan around a guy unless it's a 60 rated quarterback. But he by far has the best roster in the league. Just look at it up and down.
Damn. He's been doing some pretty crazy things with like sack numbers and stuff. I know he had some defensive ends who were just going off for like the last 2 seasons, double-digit sacks, I think. I didn't realize his whole roster was that good.
Yeah, he's got wide
Yeah,
receiver. I mean, he's got every position. I mean, every position could be a starter on half the teams in the league.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's got the second worst
other than
quarterback.
quarterback.
You say he's got the
Oh,
second worst QB.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Donovan anymore.
Well, Donovan didn't do
I think
anything for him last year either.
I think he saw him in.
No, but he paid him $45 million. He's losing $45 million when he dropped them. Because he gave him, he did 2 years for Donovan, and I think it was the bonus was 25 million or 45 million. I forgot what it was.
Well, if you what are his stats? What are his stats
Donovan?
last year? Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm
what team is
pretty-
Donovan on?
I don't even know.
If you
I
go
don't know
to,
who signed him.
you could find it by going to individual stats and then passing stats for last year. And then if you look at Colorado, he'll be the QB on there.
Because I remember from what I looked at, the few games he played last year, they were awful. He actually benched him and started his younger guy.
So Almanac, individual stats, and then change the year. That's it.
Yeah, let me change the year.
Donovan's in your division, Clay. He's at Iowa.
No.
I think so.
All right, I'm gonna have to hop off, fellas.
All right, man.
All
See
right.
you, Jug. Take care, man.
Jugs,
Later.
thank you. There he is. He dropped a lot.
Not
Yeah.
much to look at anymore.
No.
39 years old, ugly right there.
Damn, 16
Well-
seasons. Oh yeah, he's part of the Horner and Brady draft class, I think.
He yeah, because he got pulled. He only played 8 games. And he didn't really do much. 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He actually did very bad for him. A 72.7 quarterback rating for him.
Yeah, 5.4 per attempt. Average per attempt is
Wow.
painful. Get him out of there. So you're saying he signed him to a big contract and then cut him, or did he become a free agent?
He had 2 years that he signed them for. Last year and this year.
Right.
But it
So-
was all bonus money.
So if you click on
and-
his transactions, it might say released by whatever.
Yeah,
I can do this instead.
the site has it too.
How does it?
Yeah, I'll go to Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Just click the player card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll
So-
do this. I'll just do this.
Bingo.
Rasta.
Yeah, 2 years, 90 million is what he got.
Damn.
And we go down to the bottom. Oh, it's not doing it.
So has he got a lot of dead cap?
It takes it takes a second to load.
Oh, there it goes.
Ooh, look at that money.
Yeah, it's a 2 years, 90 million.
And it was bonus money.
Jeez. So what's Colorado's dead cap then at the moment?
Minus 34. He's got the 34 million dead cap
And he
space.
still got some money to spend. So if there's anybody that cuts a quarterback, he might make something work.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's got money.
that's
Yeah.
not too bad.
Maybe
is it?
that's what he's waiting for, is like that dog wait for table scraps, you know?
But that's the only way probably he could have gotten maybe Andy by giving him a 2 year.
Yeah.
Donovan probably dropped, and now he's just a mentor.
Yeah,
Nothing
exactly.
nothing more.
Yeah, because he
he's
wanted a
over on-
lot.
He's over on Iowa now.
Yeah.
Is he going to be Iowa's starting quarterback?
No.
No, I was going to go with their rookie from 2 years back.
With
Look
the
at
win.
the name, Win.
Oh, okay.
We like those sort of reunions in our division, though, Clay. When I got IHOF, I had him on my roster for a couple of seasons, didn't I? He was holding the clipboard. So we like bringing in former Kansas QBs.
Yep.
That's just the way it is.
I'm so disappointed that they're not loyal to our team. And then we have, what do you think of this linebacker that Quick picked up?
He traded up to get him,
Yep.
didn't he?
I like him.
He played a lot. He played a lot as well, right?
And I thought for sure he was going to be like a exceptional.
And he only got a
affinity.
mild affinity out of it. Oh.
Yeah. That was the first thing I looked at when I was looking through the draft the other day. I thought, damn, but maybe that's because
Yeah, that's the
of
only bad
being-
part about chemistry. It doesn't tell you how high that personality is going to be. You just can, look at the what I think what it says on
Yeah, it
the
says social or
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Sociable, cheerful, and something else.
Yeah.
I don't think in all my years playing IHOF have I ever gotten a linebacker the half as this. I just can't get linebackers, or I can't pick them. So I just decided just to go after defensive tackles and defensive ends and put them on my linebacker staff, because I just can't get linebackers. Because I play at 3-4, by the way.
Yeah, and so does Quick. And he had this guy gain weight too. So I think he's probably going to be playing out the weak side blitzing all the time.
He's got that bump and run to play weak side linebacker as well if he ever has to do any coverage.
I was just looking at in preseason he's played him strong side.
Right.
Wow.
Oh,
I mean, it's just preseason, right? I mean, maybe it's
Yeah. But talent wise,
maybe just pressed auto and said, "I'll sort this out before the season starts properly."
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Does anyone know the exact price that he paid to move up?
2 firsts, I believe.
Yeah,
Let's
and
take a
some,
look.
and some later rounds as well, I think.
Yeah.
Who was it with? I'm just gonna have a quick look.
Malpau,
Just-
Malpau, of course.
Oh yeah, so he traded.
Yeah, 1-7. So he gave up 124 this year, 223, 421. Next year he gave up his second, third, and fourth, and 21-32 he gave up his second.
He gave 7 picks. That's pretty crazy.
Yes, he did.
Mhm.
And Malcolm's going to turn all those into 60 rated plus.
And
All those
Jugs,
picks.
oh, he definitely will. And Jugs writes, "Shock, Quick gave up this much."
Okay, but everything below the 1.24 is second round or lower. And if you're not very confident in those picks, does it really matter giving them up to move up to 1.7?
I think people are looking at it the other way, aren't they, Matthias? It depends who you're giving it to.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
No,
Not everybody gives the same evaluation to a second round pick.
I rarely get something good past the second round, so I don't mind giving up those type of fucking picks. I mean, like I just got Emerson off of Mel Powell for a third and fourth next year, but it's like, and I don't even know if I can resign him, and I don't know if he's worth because he tanked a bit. Like all 3 of the top running backs that kind of went to free agency, like Gardner and Hansen, and then Emerson, all 3 of them dropped in ratings. It's like shit. But so I needed a running back. So I think Emerson, even if I don't resign him, I mean, it was worth a third and fourth round pick next year because, like I said, I don't really pick well after the second round. So, and sometimes not even the first and second.
Right. So I can see Quicksand thinking along those lines. Like,
Yep.
Okay, and maybe we should look at the 2.23 pick. What happened there? But without knowing what went there, what got taken there. Okay, it's a lot, but it's just second round picks.
Yeah. It just raises an
The
interesting
way you
question
look
about
at it.
positional value as well, I think.
I'm always on the place where whatever the player's worth to me, that's what I'm going to pay. If I think it's worth 4 first rounds or 3 first rounds or whatever, I'm going to pay it because maybe I'm not going to get that player.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
and this-
do think we have to look at the 2.23 pick
2.23.
because we're gonna look at
Yeah,
that later.
what did it turn into?
So this is part of that trade, 223.
Oh, it's the infamous quarterback.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Right. So without knowing this guy, you think, okay, there's no problem with this trade. But then when you look at this guy and you think, oh right, wait, this is the guy that went to Hanalei because of that trade.
I like this guy.
Damn, his AI is going to be 84, like 83.9 avoid interceptions. That's nuts.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the 36 cents rush, but that avoid interceptions, I mean, you can easily work with that.
Yeah, well, I think this guy is going to be even better than the 65 that we're seeing right now. This is probably one of those guys that keeps on bumping up and up and up. And
So that's his QB of the future,
definitely.
picked in the late second.
And he's 22 years old, fellas.
Not bad if you can do it. Is it?
I think he's going to do it with. He's going to win many championship games with this guy.
Yeah. Well, he had to clear house a bit, didn't he, Mark Powell? Because I traded for a couple of guys from him, a couple of offensive tackles, and I lost my guy. I know that he had to cut a load of cap room because he had so many good players from those years where he had high draft picks when he wasn't, when he wasn't able to check in that much. So I think his cycle is sort of reset over last season, and then the next coming seasons will be the next rise to the top.
Yeah,
He's going to be in cap hell. Good, Grim.
No, he's still got the best roster of any team in the league. So,
yeah.
look
Looking at the
his
talent, yeah. I was about to say maybe he hasn't been getting rid of a lot of people.
Well, he's going to be over. He has a 779 million.
Oh yeah.
That, and then 693 million that he has to get into.
Yeah.
Okay, but it means that next season he's gonna have to make a choice. Do I clean house or do I do some cap outs and try to win another title?
Yeah.
Oh, you're good at that. Magically making your cap work.
Sometimes I am.
Nice pick in the second round by him, by the way.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the safety by Jops?
I liked him a lot.
He looks great. I hate it. I hate the pick, but he looks great.
He looks fantastic. Yeah. He's got everything.
He was on my short list, but he was one I knew wouldn't go that far.
Is safety your second best position in on defense?
I think it's big.
Strong safety is, yeah. I think
strong safety.
Free safety, I'm happy with a zone defense and an interception bar, and maybe as long as he's not super dumb.
Yeah.
That's
I was
fine.
happy with the guy I got at safety because I knew I wouldn't get a shot at Douglas. I hoped I would, but I knew I wouldn't.
But this guy could do anything. He could play anywhere in that secondary.
So what position is, so you go defensive end and then strong safety for you guys? Because that's for me.
Yep, for me the same. Yeah.
Because I can do a lot of buzz and stuff like that with that guy. So
Yep.
I like this guy a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so next up after him was this left tackle.
Yeah, this was the
We
bust.
went over.
Yeah.
and that was the one Wes just took a hit on.
That's so rough. That's rough for West.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And then we have the free safety.
Yeah, he was a
Hero.
cornerback, I think.
Damn, he looks good as well.
And
Yeah,
can
he was a
return kicks.
Yeah.
I think he was a cornerback
Oh, was he? He converted.
when drafted. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, transactions will show.
Yep. He was a cornerback. I'm on
Yeah.
Conscriptor right now.
So he looks good as well. I mean, high intelligence. He's got a good zone defense. Like Rick said, he can return kicks.
Yeah, that's a
Interception bar.
returner, special teams. He's got enough endurance to pretty much play everything. So
Play diagnosis.
Mr. Everything.
I'm always worried about playing my starters as a kick returner
Not me.
because
No,
I
just-
feel like they're going to get hurt.
Just play him.
See, I used to be like that. That's exactly how I used to feel. I wouldn't want to do it because I thought it would take away from their endurance and they'd get pulled from their actual formations earlier and stuff. And then I don't know. I haven't seen anything from it. So I do it now. I play them. If they're good enough, I play them.
Like the guy I took, he's going to be returning punts this year, kids.
Yeah.
So if you had a top wide receiver on your team with all the bars, you would let him run back kicks?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I have done it in other leagues. Yeah. So I would definitely do it.
I did it
I
with
wouldn't
Bowers
if
in
I
this
could help
league.
it.
Unless I had a better guy to do it. But
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if I can help it, I'm not going to have a starter playing special teams, but
Yeah.
sometimes you have to. So
a lot of games are won with the punt return touchdown, kick return touchdown, so it's worth it. 'Cause
Yeah.
the injuries, I haven't seen many injuries on special teams, but I may not be looking for them either.
No, he's going to be hit with like 3 of them this season.
There you go.
Uh,
Do you think this guy could play strong safety? That guy for Fort Wayne. I mean, he's got the run defense bar. Bump
He's
might
got
be a
the
little
weight
low,
too.
but yeah. I think he could play again. Another guy who
He
could
could play
probably
both.
anywhere. Yeah, exactly, and he's got the
I
high
think he's a little
intelligence.
low. Yeah, I think he's a little low on man for me to be playing strong safety because, when you're playing that buzz, if they pass, your strong safety is in man coverage.
And he
So,
might have a good strong safety already, so I just had to move this guy into that spot to get him on the field.
Yeah.
And then next up after him was another left tackle. This is by Atlanta, Sween. So Sween picked up this guy. I like him. His intelligence is low, which I don't like.
Yeah, there was a couple that had that low intelligence that I just go, well, if they're still there at this round, I'll go for it.
Good value talent-wise, but yeah, like you said, low intelligence. He's sort of got the body of a right tackle as well at 6'5", 325.
Yeah, so he'll give you 15 penalties this year, but he'll also do good stuff like open holes.
Yeah.
But I see those 15 penalties as giving me 15 sacks.
Yeah. True.
Sometimes I think you can mitigate some of that if you got like a smart rest of your line, but obviously it will never take away from his individual penalty numbers. But I think as long as you're not sending like 3 dumb guys out there,
Exactly. You can survive one dumb guy, but 4 or 5 would be rough.
If his talent is high enough, like this guy's talent
Exactly.
looks like it could be, I think he can survive.
But when they come, those penalties, right? You're in the red zone.
Yep.
You throw a touchdown.
All back. Yep.
And it's holding.
Clutch playoff games, yeah, exactly. That's when it's going to come. But that's the price you pay.
Then after him was this split end.
Yeah, Christian Page, the Mighty Might.
Yeah, he looks good. Was there talk about this guy? I feel like Malk Powell said that he should have taken this guy at 1.7.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
So he probably thinks this guy is gonna hit
Yeah.
80 or something.
That's what you want to hear, isn't it? If you've drafted a guy, you want to hear Malk Powell say, I wish that I'd stayed in and taken him. That's when you know you've got a good
Definitely.
Wow, look at his route running went from 45 to 63.
that getting downfield as well, 100 getting downfield potentially. That could just be.
Yeah, he was one of my guys, but I knew wouldn't come to me. So.
And you couldn't trade up for him?
I try not to trade around too much within the draft. I don't think I've ever moved up in the draft in the IHOF. Yeah, I don't think I have.
You should try it sometime, Rick.
Yeah. So much fun.
Cap City picked up this middle linebacker.
Good run, D.
Yes, it is.
Damn, man, he's like 40 pounds heavier than most middle linebackers.
Yeah, he looks like a 3-4 guy.
Yeah.
With that weight. And in fact, it says ideal fit, 3-4 guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Again, he's a division rival, and I had a look at where this guy was playing in preseason, and I think he is playing middle linebacker 4-3.
Right.
He is massive.
Yeah, because he looks great bar wise.
Cap City plays a 3-4, so.
Oh, they do. Okay, then he's
Yep.
playing him strong inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just hasn't changed the position.
Would you have tried to cut weight off this guy? Do you think he would have been able to? I mean, he's very
nothing.
tall and he's 6'2", but.
Yeah, if I'm playing him in on 4-3, I would have tried to cut weight, but he's perfect for 3-4, no matter where you play him on that line. So
I thought inside on 3-4 was 240 something.
Yeah, Weldon
I
still
think it
you
is.
can get away with that, but
Yeah.
big works too.
Yeah.
He's 79% developed,
He's only got 6 intelligence though. That hurts.
which is shocking because his plague diagnostic is
But that's where it all goes though, isn't it?
mm,
Doesn't Soul contributes to play diagnosis, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Looking that up. Yeah. So if it's not going in there, I don't know what. I'll have a look at what his star sign was.
Yeah, and his soul's only 28 coming out of the.
So he was
draft.
Aquarius, which is, I believe that's January, which is like one of the dumb pink groups. So, his soul score was quite. Oh no, yeah. So a soul of 28, which is like not great for that.
Right.
and then after him, we have another left tackle. Here we go. You want to talk about your player? What happened?
They're passing team anyway, so
What happened? Well, I missed out on the guy that went at 1.4. This guy was a no workout, no combine guy. He was a right tackle. I thought it was a left tackle, but he was a right tackle, and I switched position. Actually, forgot to do it on training camp. He lost mostly his run blocking. But
He's got
yeah,
enough pass and blocking strength to be a decent left tackle.
he's gonna be decent, but he's not the guy that I want to
Not the
have.
monster you hoped for.
Yeah, I'm so used to having a guy that's at least 75 in pass blocking and blocking strength. It's
Out of interest, what percentage did it give you when you were swapping him from right to left? Did it say that?
it was 92%.
Okay.
Well, that's you can absorb that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is what you get at 92%.
Yeah.
So he was about 60 in pass blocking and about 45 in run blocking, I think. So
But yeah, the run blocking took the big hit, that's for sure.
yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with this pick. Not particularly.
Now you
I
said
still
some-
thought it was the second best option at tackle behind the guy that went at 1.4.
but you mentioned something. You said you switched him later by mistake.
Well, I forgot to position switch him at training camp. I think that's the right point in time to move him. So I decided to do it before preseason because if you want a guy to develop in the left tackle position, you have to move him to the left tackle position. You can't play him at left tackle. You have to make him a left tackle. And I can still put him at guard or right tackle, and he will still develop as a left tackle.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm torn right now about will I play him at left tackle or on the inside at left guard, because my left guard is actually a 9 in left tackle. So, but the real question is, will this guy be on my team in the long run? We'll have to find out in another season or 3.
He might be able to do so. Okay, I'm going to show you one of my players. He's kind of similar to your guy, and his bars, he does well for me. Not him. Jenkins. Right? You have better bars than him. Somewhat.
About the same, I would say.
About
Yeah.
the same. Okay.
Your
Look,
guy is
look
a
how
little
many
bit better
sacks.
than nothing.
Look how many sacks he has allowed only. He's got a sack percentage of 0.4, which is very good. And he doesn't really have the bars. Or he has a similar to what you have. So your guy can be functional, what I'm trying to say.
Yes, yeah, but I do think some of my guys on the line are low on pass blocking. So even if this guy on my team is going to be developed, he's still going to be at between 5 and 10 sacks allowed, because he's going to absorb the sacks that the other guys basically are responsible for.
Yes.
I mean, the left tackle usually gets credit for the sacks that are basically a result from the other guys not being supportive enough.
Well, he's an ideal pass blocking guy for passing teams, I think, but for balanced or run heavy types, he wouldn't be the guy.
Yep.
Well,
See-
anyone who runs a lot, who has a team like that, just give me your linemen that.
Actually, what's funny, when I look at linemen like him, I always go, oh, that's a Clay guy.
Yep.
Let's see some of the guys you got the low run blocking, but the beautiful blocking strength and pass blocking bars.
Absolutely. That's why my running is like 2 point something
Exactly.
on average.
I got a right tackle last draft in first round. He's like the opposite of this guy. He's a run
Yeah.
blocker.
You have a really young O line, man.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt for another season or 2.
Yeah, cohesion's going to be pretty low.
Which guy? This one right here? No,
Asimov.
that's the second year one, right?
Oh, good.
Yeah, we looked at this guy
He
in
looks
the previous show.
Yeah,
looks
Steve
better than he
does
looked
run a
then.
lot.
So
Love this guy, right? Arizona, Rick, you love a guy like this on your team.
Yes, I could use those guys.
He looks great. He looks really good. Was there no temptation to switch him over to left tackle? I mean, the pass block bar might be a little bit low, but
I was
physically he's
it would
more.
be a left tackle, but when I looked at his pass blocking, I was like, no, I'm gonna keep this guy at the right tackle.
Yeah.
He's gonna be my right side anchorman. So
Has he played any left tackle? Because he's got that 4 experience down there.
I think I played him a couple of games on the left side because I had no better options.
Oh, okay.
I usually in seasons like last season, I have about 6 guys rotating, trying to find the best combination that doesn't play the worst.
Right.
So I think he played on the left a couple of times. Also because I'm so used that I think we all have to live with it. That on the offensive line, injuries happen, and over the course of a season, there's just not going to be 5 guys that play 16 games. So you really need 6 guys that can start on your line.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to go over to Howie's guy. He picked up this wide receiver.
Did this guy
Did he take a hit?
drop?
Is this the kind that took
Yeah.
it?
Let's take a look. I'm going to bring his.
Not really.
Not much.
No. Maybe he wasn't part of that list.
No, maybe just got masked or
Yeah, the sub 50 route running bar is the first thing that I look
Yeah.
at. That's what hurts, I think.
the current went up, so he did develop.
Yeah. Yeah, so that'd be the thing for me, that I think it has to be over 50 really for him to be properly useful.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with you on that one, Melman.
He looked a bit better, I think, when before the draft, based on my scouts anyway. But a little bit.
In the draft, was his were the bars, we'll call it the green bars, were they further out when you were looking
Yeah.
at him?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was reasonable to think his route running might be 75.
Wow.
Yeah, I had it, looking at it in the draft, I had it as like around about 68. So yeah, it was only 68, close to 70 on route running. So he came out looking less than that.
The low end by my scout was 49. So that's what he hit.
Yeah, my scouting's not very good. I probably shouldn't reference that, to be honest.
Mine isn't the best either, but
I like the courage bar, the big play receiving and the third down catching, but the route running is, yeah, he just won't be able to handle the volume of targets. That's the only thing. But I think Howie's a pretty run heavy team anyway, isn't he?
Yeah, for how he does, this guy is perfect.
Yeah.
And then after that pick, we go to running back.
Oh, this guy looks
Look at that.
amazing.
Rick, how did you catch this guy?
I knew I wouldn't be in the running for the first running back. And I saw this guy and I said, well, I was looking at the combines between both, and my guy had the lesser of the two. And I was thinking, well, maybe I'll get lucky and this guy will come to me. And lo and behold, my pick came up and said, oh, let's do it. And I got lucky. This guy looks awesome. I can do so many more things now with the offense that I couldn't do the last few years.
He looks fantastic. I mean, that.
Yeah, my scouts, I had him the best running back in the draft. And I was surprised that he was still on the board here.
Yeah, because it was a Hansen Villarreal thing, and Hansen had all the pretty red stuff, and my guy had all the pretty blue stuff. And lo and behold, my guy goes, boom.
Let's take a look at.
He's going to be returning punts, Rick.
Oh, and returning punts, yes, sir. He's
Yeah.
He better
already
be.
penciled in.
Yeah.
And in fact, he got a punt return touchdown on Boots in the preseason.
Oh, really?
Well,
He's
his
already
whole
shown that.
recognition went up from 75 to 94.
Yes.
Wow. He looks great. I mean, he can punch it in through the middle with that power inside and whole wreck.
You can run and he can catch a bit.
Yeah, he can go to the outside. He can break off big runs with that breakaway speed. He can do everything.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
looks
the
fantastic.
endurance.
Yeah,
And I can put him on all 3 downs.
yeah.
Yep.
Grim, you can do magic with this player, yes?
Yeah.
I've got him
Oh,
lined
yeah.
up to do some route running outside the confines of what a running back could do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
him for me, man. He's over 2,000 yards from scrimmage and probably close to 20 touchdowns.
Right. Yeah. Because I plan on, I'm not going to run crazy, and he's not going to be a bell cow 2,000 back. He'd be one of those 1,200 backs with 800 yards receiving type
Yep.
of guy.
Yep, that's exactly what I'd want.
Mhm.
Were you shocked that he might even go higher? Because look at he's 42% developed.
Mhm.
His whole recognition is almost there. What else has to go up for his development really to go up?
Well, I think it's all that receiving, all the receiving bars need to finish what they're doing.
Yeah.
But running wise, he's ready to run.
Yeah,
But
he's going to be
avoid drops,
fantastic.
getting downfield, route running, third down, all those still have a ways to go.
He's
And he's
developed perfectly to be useful now. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't
Yeah.
somebody ask whether you would change this guy to wide receiver?
I was just thinking because he's 203 pounds, so he's on the light side.
He's on the cusp of running a wide receiver, but I don't think I even pretend flipped him to see. I didn't try it.
No.
Oh no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't with this guy.
No.
Great
I have
pick,
enough
right in the middle
wide
of the draft.
receivers to do what I got to do.
Just give
Because
him
this
the
guy
ball.
will be the guy that helps get the offense moving more so. Because we had no threat to run last year. Any running we did was by magic.
Yep.
So when he fell in your lap, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's right here right now.
Yeah, that's pretty much because I was saying maybe I'm seeing the bars wrong. Like looked at my scouting bar. Well, it says 83, so I guess I'm okay. Because sometimes I think, is it an optical illusion?
I do think he looks a little bit better than he looked going into the draft.
Yeah, he does look better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 75 or 85, that kind of difference, but still.
Let's take a look at in the game.
You got a nice offensive line, Rick, as well. I was just having a look at your guys on there.
It's geared to help him get us some yards, and I'm going to try,
Yeah.
And I use the tight ends a lot, so it'll be fun this year. Hopefully, we'll get more than 7 wins. But it's been a rough build since I decided to mini rebuild the team when Lindquist fell in my lap from the free pick I got from Howie.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah, didn't you talk somebody out, Millman, of getting a player?
Let's not bring this up again. I can't even remember who that was. That was a wide receiver or something, maybe, or a defensive back. I can't remember, but yeah. Don't listen to me if I'm giving out draft advice. I don't remember giving anyone draft advice, but that was probably the one time I did. That was the one time I did the Jops, and yeah, he turned out to be really good. So what do I
Rick,
know?
awesome pick, by the way.
Yeah, I was thankful he was there. That's all I can say. It's like because Boots knows I need a fucking running back. I need a running back, and there he is.
So I was just picking anyone that can help my team on defense, and I wanted someone with man-to-man. His bars were all the way maxed out, but of course he took a dump, and I wanted definitely interception.
And he's
on
a
there.
short guy too.
Yes, I usually go for a 6-footer, but he's only 5'9". But you can see how much he dropped. He went from 65
Oh
to
wow,
a 49.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
So
he had a lot of max bars too. Run
Yeah.
defense, man defense, punishing hitter, interceptions, kick returning, endurance, and special teams were all maxed in conscriptor.
Mhm.
And then he just went flatline like that on the middle part there.
I thought he was going to, I knew he was going to drop, but not that much. Now I'm showing him as a 56, and my scout's better than the league scout. So he's around somewhere in the 50s as a player. But you know,
But if
he's
you play lots
serviceable.
of man-to-man, he's your guy.
Yes, that's exactly it. I set up my team now to play a lot of man-to-man.
I think you have to believe your scout on this because the league scout looks from a distance and your guy has a little bit more inside information. So you really have to trust this man-to-man
Yeah, I agree.
potential.
I mean, the bars that he does have are all good. They're pretty fully developed, aren't they? Like kick returning, special teams, punishing hitter, interceptions will be good, man to man, and run defense. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, the run
So-
defense, especially when I'm playing against your team. So I needed that
Yeah.
as well.
That's it.
Because I used to have a lot of cornerbacks with no run defense at all, and I got gashed.
Yeah.
So I'll get half gashed now.
Getting trucked out by my running backs. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see this guy having 6 to 8 interceptions this year.
I hope
that
so.
big interception bar. Heck yeah.
I hope so. So
He's
I was pleased.
highly intelligent as well, so not too much PI, hopefully.
Yeah. It means he can actually play on special teams as well without giving up penalties.
Mm.
But he's not going to return kicks, Clay.
I have a running back that I picked up that was cheap. Actually picked up 2 running backs that can do that for me.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you got that guy.
There you go.
I know there was a lot of people going for him, and I also got this guy. So these 2 guys
Nice.
for returning kicks.
I think I tried to sign them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I paid
Oh yeah, you overpaid. You
Yeah, the bonus.
you overbid.
I believe that running backs are the secret sauce for returning as well. I think they're better than all the other positions.
really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
They
just
sure can
starting.
run good
I'm,
reverses out of empty set too.
I'm starting a horrible rumor here that's not based on anything other than I just have a soft spot for returning running backs.
Well, my guy's going to be returning, so we'll see how that goes.
Rick comes back getting this strong safety, another good pick.
But is he gonna play at safety with that zone bar?
He's my strong safety, so I've got another strong. I've got a free safety. They're both big run stoppers. That's the big thing for me because I do a lot of bust stuff in 3-4, so they have to be able to stop the run. And my linebackers aren't too bad at zone, so I'm covered, even if there's a hole somewhere.
Now, did you get this in a trade, this pick?
Yeah, this is a trade from last year with Boots.
Yeah, this is the down payment on my quarterback last year.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd finish worse, but I'll take it.
Yeah, there were
Not a
still
bad
very
pick.
good players on the board.
It was looking
At
good to the end
119.
of the year with that 3-game winning streak.
Yeah. Well, I had extra motivation to not give you a good pick.
Yeah, it went from a top 10 to a middle of the round pick. But Dole turns out he looks good.
I like his run defense a lot. Solid.
Yeah, because that's one of the bars I covet the most on a 3-4. Everybody stop the run. Everybody has to be able to at least stop the run. And from there, we'll see what happens.
Nice pick. Now we go to Paris.
This is another one of those interesting.
Yeah, that was
battles.
the 3 running backs in the draft. Win.
He's got hardly any green on there. I mean, he's
he
73%
also
developed.
dropped 2.
Yeah, and he's 26 years old as a rookie. I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I noticed that too. It's like, oh wow, he's already in middle age for a football player.
That's like,
Yep.
Can retire next year.
Yeah.
Well,
It-
he might. Yeah, he might retire in a season or 2.
Yeah, it's true. His whole recognition went down from 87 to 66.
Yeah, he was one of those crash guys.
Eek.
I think he was also one with the good combines too. All of the 3 running backs, Hancock had the best looking combines, and it was Villarreal and Wynn. And like I said, I got lucky.
Yeah, Wynn had 3 that were blue. His
Mhm.
bench reps, agility, and broad jump were just normal. So
And Villarreal looked the same way with his blues and nothing too outstanding.
He wasn't far off from Villarreal
He
in
was
combined scores.
he
So
was
Not-
definitely somebody on my running back short list. I knew Hansen wasn't going to happen, and I said, okay, maybe I'll get Villarreal or Wynn. One of the two will come my way if I'm lucky. If there's a wide receiver run, which there was, and that helped push stuff down.
He's a weird one because of that age.
Yeah, I
wouldn't have
didn't even
known.
notice the age until the other day. It was like 26. Oh wow!
I wouldn't have known what to make of that really, because I look at the raw grades or whatever when I'm looking at the prospects, and age drives that right up. So like he was up there in terms of raw grade for running backs, but then I got to feel like all of that is to do with his age and development percentage. It's the development percentage that drives it up. Sorry, not just his age, but
Right.
because he was like 60% developed coming out of the draft.
Yeah,
which
but
is,
the age will definitely shorten his shelf life.
yeah. I mean, he's kept some of that whole rec bar, so there's some use there, and the speed to the outside and stuff. Just
Yeah.
not too bad, but obviously you don't like
Yeah,
to
his
see.
whole wreck didn't take as bad a hit as the other guy.
No.
So he has 27% more to be at 100%. Does that look like 27% to go?
No, not to me.
You know,
No.
2 bars, 3. Yeah.
No, he's a weird one.
I think we're clearly not seeing the real state for this guy.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's
so
been-
basically his
someone.
development percentage is completely off, or his green
Yeah.
is completely missing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would be worried that his trend is down.
Yeah, well,
Interesting.
he's got the bars for a straight ahead runner. With the exception of, oh no, he's got the power inside, so he can do it. He just won't be able to do any outside stuff too well.
He's like a one contract guy because he's going to be 30 only by the time his rookie deal's up. So, and you don't want to be giving long-term money to a 30-year-old running back.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't. That's right. One contract guy. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, be 30 years old and asking for, depending on how they just stats wise.
I'll take a guess that by the time he's in his 4th year, he's about 38 overall. This guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, could his performance be enhanced by like good offensive line cohesion and stuff? Yes, it
Yeah,
probably could.
easily.
But if you don't have the system for that or the players to cater for that, then
Yeah, whole wreck over 60, you can get by
yeah,
if you have a good line. If you don't, it's rough.
yeah. But he's a guy who didn't turn out like we
Exactly.
thought he might.
He's another one that pre-2 wasn't kind to.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it just looks like as what he was supposed to look like.
Now I saw Augusta. He took this tight end. Very
My
nice.
kind of guy.
Whoa, that route running.
Yeah.
yeah, I liked him. I was hoping he'd fall a little further.
I don't know if it counts for anything, but I like 6'5", 270. I like that as well. That's a good size for a tight end.
He's a good looking tight end. Too bad I'm too shy to draft him because I blew so many picks on tight ends. I said, no, I'll just take the safe pick.
Yeah.
Did this
His
guy
route-
have a random bump up? It does
His
look
route
like it.
running went up from 62 to 99. His route running. His
Right.
third down went up from 50 to 57. Coverage is the same. His future was 54, went up to 66.
He's 21. He's young. The only knock I might put on him, and it's not even really a knock, is that he won't be any good over the middle. That courage is only 35, which for me, and tight ends, I feel like that's where
That's
they can
their
really
job.
kill people. Yeah, over the middle. So
Right.
that's the only thing he'll have to stick to.
Oh,
those outs.
they're still used for running outside routes for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
So
like
this-
a nice red zone target.
This guy has got a characteristic that me and you had a talk about during the week, Melman, which is that he's got an incredibly high big play receiving for a tight end.
Yeah, 82. Yeah.
like higher than he should be allowed to have, I think.
Yeah, the max for a tight end is about 80 for a big play receiving bar.
Wow.
Right? So that's not quite right, that number.
Now, this
Well, he
might
ran up.
also be the random bump up. So if he gets the bump up, it can hit above 80.
But temporarily, right? It's got to come down again.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he ran a 458 for a tight end that big. That's awesome.
Only
He
way
had
to
the
know
fourth.
is historically check last 3 drafts of tight ends. See if they went backwards on that bar.
It says
Yeah.
that bar didn't really change in preseason.
Yeah, that dash
Right.
score was really good.
He's only just over the maximum as well. I mean, that could be just a scouting, gray area, right?
Yeah. We'd have to see how Sawblade sees him. He might see him at 80 or something with his own
And
scout.
Saw's got a
Yeah.
good scouting bar too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
he looks great.
see him at 80.
Right. But he looks great, and he can take all the targets with that 100 route running if you want to throw it to him. He can play special teams.
And his avoid drop is a little low, really low. What does that say? 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll drop a few.
Would you streak this guy up the sideline for the deep passes?
Oh, there's 7 and 8 routes written all over this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think those avoid drops maybe matters more on those deep shots.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think this guy looks born to run a 5. So he doesn't need the courage, and he's deep enough.
What, like a 5 and a 1 or something. Little 1
Yeah,
routes in the red zone.
3 and a 3.
And he can catch a
something like
third
that.
down pass too. So that's a plus in my book.
Yeah.
So if he has a crappy quarterback, which he does not, he got actually a very good quarterback. But if the quarterback threw crappy, he's got a good adjust to the ball.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, he's going to be a monster. No doubt.
Yeah, he'll be good.
And I
Nice
think
pick.
Saw uses his tight end too, so he's in a good spot.
Yes. Did you see his quarterback, by the way?
Myers.
I like that guy a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went down a little bit on the overall, but still looks great for what Saw does and what anybody would do, really.
Yeah.
He looks good.
All right. Next up is defensive tackle.
I like this guy. I think he was my alternative for the left tackle I took.
So his run defense went from an 80 to a 92. His pass technique, 54 to 62. Pass strength, 3-point bump up to 83 to a 86. His endurance is 52 up to a 61. That's what they're showing. My guys are showing at 58, so it's within reason.
And for a 3-4 or 4-3 guy, that's pretty good. They have those 3 bars at the top that big.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Slam a 4-3 then, because his
Yeah.
guy's okay, so he is going to play defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Still a little bit light for my liking, but I've played guys up in the 290s at tackle, and they've done okay.
For
Pretty
4-3,
4-3, you don't have to be too big.
I think it's like 3-0 something.
Yeah,
305,
you can get away with the
305 or something.
297 at a 305
Like-
spot.
3 tech or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe he's got just enough pass rush technique to get a few sacks here and there. That pass rush strength is nice. He's a defensive tackle. He's a good defensive tackle. That's what, when I look at him, I think he's that. He's not going to wreck games on his own, but could he play up the middle for 10 to 12 seasons? I'd say so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we have next is Outer Banks. Oof, his route running took a hit.
Well, he was the no combine guy, so it was like pulling on the one-arm bandit. And he dropped, unfortunately, a lot.
Yeah. I couldn't do anything with that route running bar, personally.
Third down.
I mean, realistically, how many targets do you think that guy could take a season or even a game? It'd be one target a game, wouldn't it?
Well, if that guy was on my team, I would put him on third downs.
Yeah.
This is a third down catchy, and that'd be decent spot. Because, like you said, he wouldn't be able to carry a full load in the X, Z, or R spots. He could be a good S playing third downs.
As soon as people break the code, I'm going to say, where you can play a wide receiver and get the most out of them if they don't have a route running, and just build that game plan for them. You'll see more players, wide receivers that is flying.
Yeah, because there's that funky pattern that you'll see, that the great big getting downfield, a tiny little route running bar, and a gigantic third down bar. Those guys are third down specialists. And that's the only purpose they serve. You try to put them on the field in regular things, it gets ugly.
But don't they end up expensive because of the big getting downfield? So I mean, yeah, if you pick them up as free agents on like rentals,
Their salary demand is usually 2/3 of what the big boys want, or sometimes even less.
I've got a couple of those guys, like that Jesse Harden guy that I've had for 10 seasons now.
Oh, but he's way better than this guy, right? Or he was.
Oh yeah, as far as bars go, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's kind of he's kind of dropped a little bit the last couple seasons, but he's just been a monster.
This is a good example of one of those guys, third down guy.
Yeah, and they also got
he's way better.
Yeah, and then check out Carl Wilkins too. He's going to take Harden's place. He kind of did last season. He's another one of those guys, lower route running.
Well, he looks amazing though. The rest of his bars look great.
Yeah. I mean, I got him 1,000 yards last year, so he's coming up.
Damn, 20 yards.
Exactly on 100 targets, right? That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Only caught 50 balls.
Let's take this wide receiver right here, Wilkins. Let's say his route running was at 10. How many people would pick him up?
I would.
Personally,
yeah.
Me, I wouldn't.
I would, and I'd put him on third. I'd put him in 3 or 4 third down plays. Like 4th and 5, or 3rd and 4th to 5, 3rd and 6 to 7, 3rd and 8 and 9. That's here where he would live.
And you would say, I would say, and I'm just throwing a number out there, 30% of the GMs would pick up this player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I think
because of the route running.
You definitely
this guy,
see.
I would definitely take this guy. If his route running was 10, I don't think I would.
That's what I meant. If it's
Yeah.
10. Everything else is the same, but it's a 10 route run.
I'd still take him.
Yeah.
If the price was right. The thing is, the
think-
game is predicated on bars, and a 3C bar exists for a reason. So why not throw it somewhere in third downs? And you can get some big plays here and there, and that's all you need.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's all about how much he costs, right? If I can get him cheap, then I would take this guy with 10 route running and use him on limited targets, definitely, because all those other bars are so good. But as soon as he says, I want 15 to 18 million a year in IHOF money, when he's only going to be my 4th or 5th most targeted guy, no, I don't think so.
Exactly. I was going to say, you see guys like this, and especially I seem to see it a lot with tight ends across a few different leagues, where they've got every bar is like maxed out, and then they've got like a 5 route running bar. They're always hitting.
Look at my guy Rose Hill. He's that very type, very low route running, but
because it is that second contract,
third down.
You know, that second contract, because they've got the inflated overall because of their other bars pushing their overall rating up or whatever. That pushes their salary demand up. So I think for me, they're
continue.
Go to Rose Hill and you'll see this is my guy that fits the description of the 10 route running, but the good third down bar and getting downfield stuff.
Yeah, just there. Aaron Rosehill, that guy, Clay, number 17. He's a wide receiver, the second wide receiver.
Oh, wide receiver.
Yeah.
Okay. I was looking at tight end.
See, this is a primary example of what we were talking about.
This guy is the exact example of what you've been talking about. All third down and a bit of big play. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. All he can chip in on is third down.
Yeah.
And I have routes for S that I can throw into third down.
Yeah.
And cheap, and really cheap. So
And cheap.
why
That's
not?
the other plus.
Yeah.
Cheap.
But as soon as they hit to be $20 million, $22 million,
Yeah, then I'll just pick up the next guy who looks like him that somebody cast off.
But this guy is never gonna ask for a lot of money because he doesn't get
I don't
any
think you will.
targets.
The yardage is low enough to be, he's not gonna ask for it. In fact, I got him on a lowest he can go special. Nobody bid on him. And I think he was asking for that mid-range high money. So I said, what's the lowest he'll take? And I threw it at him and he took it.
Yeah. But he looks like a specialist, like MIJB saying. He doesn't look like a stud who's just got no route running.
Third down specialist only.
Yeah.
Is his only purpose in life.
and also in a system where you have got 2 or 3 pass catching tight ends, right? So you don't need more than one, maybe good wide receiver.
Exactly. Yeah. In my case, I have 2 of my 3 starting tight ends are really good at both route running and third down receiving. So this guy's a third option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I was Outer Banks, I'd be pretty disappointed about how he's turned out.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be able to make him work. I don't know what he's like as a game planner.
I think
Well,
I think this team throws a lot.
Yeah, they do throw a lot. They're not all pass. And I think his best receivers are quite old. So it does make sense to try to maybe take a few shots at, well, where are we? 120-ish?
Yeah.
In the draft to try to find something.
Yeah.
It's a good gamble nonetheless. Good gamble.
Wide receivers, as we all know, are the ones that people take the most reach for.
Yeah.
By far, yeah.
And say, let's hope that give me some goodness.
I think even Newsom got taken in the second. He was kind of sketchy looking.
We have a couple down below, but we're going to look at them.
Yeah.
Iowa, nice pick.
The wide receiver you were all looking for was in the 7th round, by the way. I picked him.
Did you? Hold on. I'll get to that. Let's see.
Wyatt Shaw. He must be about 19.
Yeah, he's number 18. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, he looks nice.
Yeah,
for a 7th round pick, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of us looked the other way after the avoid drops, but Booth kept looking at him.
Yeah.
I'm sure Outer Banks would have wanted this guy.
Yeah, over the other one, maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
That's an amazing pick at that spot.
But yeah, that league is infamous for everybody wants a wide receiver and another wide receiver if they can get it.
This guy looks great as well.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
the
this
pick.
guy.
He got that pick from San Antonio for that safety, so that's
really? Okay.
That's a good replacement.
Yeah. So he's really strengthening the trenches. Then he took that amazing left tackle, and then now he's got this guy on the defensive side of the ball as well.
I'm actually upset because he was a player I was going to take instead of the cornerback.
Right.
And I took the cornerback because I have my aging lineman.
Yeah.
Good pick. Very good pick.
Amazing pick. Yeah.
Next after him was Hanley.
Good tight end.
Yep.
It'd probably be like 80 rated by next season.
Well, if you want to go on Hanley watch, he missed a trick with this guy because he should have took the one that Nemesis took, which was 131.
What, he turned out better than this guy?
Yeah, and he was a boomer as well.
Oh yeah.
The only difference was the big play bar was 4.
Yeah, so he had like a 0 static bar or whatever.
Yeah.
That was the risk when you. I don't know why, but when I didn't look at the first round that hard because I didn't have any picks, but I did a quick and dirty kind of who's my best player at each position. I had Langer as the best tight end. I could not tell you why.
Wow. For the 3 bars The 3 bars
I
that
think,
Bruce and I like, he's good.
Yeah, I think that was. I guess that was it, Rick. I just thought, yeah, he's just a pure
Yeah.
pass catching guy, and that's good enough for
Exactly.
me. There was another one
Yep.
that Demetrius Keck, I think he was called. He was the other pure
Yeah,
pass
he went.
catcher, and
He went.
he went to Hanley later.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Nemesis, man, in Frederick. I tell you, when you see the biggest jumps, it's him and Mount Power like duking it out almost every season. They make up like 90% of that the biggest jumps list every year. So he's going about his business and he's drafting guys that boom in Frederick.
Yeah, when I joined this league, one of the first things I noticed was how much talent Frederick had on their roster, and keep adding more. Right, so they are definitely drafting phenomenally well.
Yeah, I just noticed that every season he's on that list more than 3 or 4 times usually.
Yeah, if you maybe sort by like a future estimate on this page, Clay. I mean, he's got, it's maybe not that remarkable, but he's got quite a bit of star power. It possibly was a little bit better a few seasons ago, but I mean, he went to the bowl last year as well, right? So
yeah. And I think he's got an experienced QB, so he's got some cohesion there from the QB as well.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing. That's a great pick, by the way, with Langer.
Both, yeah, amazing. And Mount Power, that's a good looking tight end as well.
Yeah, it is.
And the IHOF sim is up, by the way, guys.
Okay. So
What's that?
I'll take my 6th shot at trying to find a punter this year.
I got one finally.
So Hanley had back-to-back.
I think he'd been making trades, didn't he, to get rid of some of his old players. So I think he had a few picks.
Yep.
Yeah, these 2 picks in the first round were kind of, I think these guys just sort of looked like what they look like, right? I don't think they're secret sauce picks particularly.
And then we go into Bordeaux. He gets a cornerback as well. I think
He's a
did he
very
drop?
small one.
I think he dropped as well.
Yeah, he dropped.
I mean, to me, he still looks like he's a starting cornerback. He's not a superstar cornerback, but he's got enough bars to play, cornerback 2, cornerback 1 in certain formations and stuff. He's intelligent, I think.
Yeah, he's a midget as well.
Oh, is
Grim.
it 5? Oh, yeah, 5.
Short guy. Ooh,
Grim, does that bother you when the cornerback is small, not tall?
I try to keep him around 5'10" to 6 foot, maybe 6'1", if I can help it. Slot wise though, I don't mind the shorter guys.
6'1" feels big for a defensive back. I mean, a safety, yeah, but for cornerbacks and stuff, I feel like they're all sub 6 foot usually.
Oh no, I love those massive cornerbacks, Tom. I like 6'3" cornerback. That's my ideal.
Right, let me have
when I took over Plainfield, they had a lot of short guys. I called them the Lollipop Guild. I only have one guy left on the Lollipop Guild. And it was 5'8", 5'9", 5'7". It's like I had to let them all go.
Yeah, right now I got 2 corners on my roster, 1 6'2" and 1 6'1". So
nice.
So just looking at this year's cornerback class, I just looked at height. The average height for all of them was 70.3 inches, which is 5'8". So that's like the average height. So to get them all 6 foot or over, I feel like they can't come along very often.
Yeah, it's
5'10" is like the usually going height.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I usually don't look at the height for cornerbacks, but I once had a 5'6" guy in free agency, and he was eventually his height was the tiebreaker to got the guy.
Yeah, 5'6", that's small.
But is there evidence that they don't play well or play worse than their 6
I've
foot
had
counterpart?
short guys, and they just didn't play as well as the other guys.
It's actually in the help file of the game.
Yeah, it is.
Very short cornerback might not play up to his ratings.
Yes.
That sucks.
The taller wideouts could just take advantage of him.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyone want a cornerback?
Do you feel like that's something that's changed in perhaps NFL logic though, since Jim would have originally programmed this? Because I feel like there's been a bit of a switch at DBs in real football, where there are some smaller guys that have been good. I mean, maybe it might not have been the case in the mid 2000s.
Well, I remember there was a little spot on TV because Terrell Owens was a 6-foot muscular guy, and they were saying he was just manhandling short corners, and then suddenly the corners started getting bigger.
Yeah.
And were less manhandled. And I don't know when Jim wrote the game, what era he wrote it in.
But it looks like
Like early 90s.
I've got like a big thing of rookies that I look at sometimes. So I'm looking at cornerbacks. Out of like 500,000 cornerbacks, the average height is 70 inches. So like 5'9" or whatever I just said before.
5'10",
So
I think.
70 inches.
70 is, yes, 5'10", because I'm 5'10".
Right. So yeah, so they're all generating in at around that size on average. So I think, yeah, to build a complete backfield of guys who are like 5'11", 6 foot and over, I think you'd do well to get everyone like that.
Well, I got one guy below 5'11". So you can.
Nice.
Whether that's helping me or not, I don't know.
So Julio picks up this quarterback. We talked a little bit about him. I like him, Harper. The only thing I don't like is the timing. I'm a timing guy. I like my quarterbacks have timing.
But you're not bothered by that 11 avoid interceptions?
Well, I didn't know about that until Jugs pointed that out.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't put a lot of stock in that AI theoretical bar. I mean, you look at his bars in passing. That's a phenomenal passing quarterback. Yeah, you'll have to struggle with the timing bar, but everything else is there.
Yeah.
I mean, I would throw a bit deep with this guy when he gets developed further. I mean, he can hit 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 routes. They'll hit him more. And is he long passing? He's long passing as well.
Yeah, he's long
So he'll
passing.
hit him more often than short passing guys will, or roll-out guys will. And that's
Well,
even in the help file.
Don't get me wrong. I like this guy a lot.
Oh, ditto. I don't care if his
my
AI
game
was
plan-
theoretical 5. It wouldn't matter.
My game planning doesn't work on quarterbacks like this without the timing. I've tried it in single play. Awful.
If the play breaks down, he's going to take off as well with that 85 scramble frequency. So he'll get some yards there.
And even has a backup to throw in a pick, just take off.
Yeah, exactly. Is Julio, do we know if he's starting him this year? Who else has he got?
I think he is.
I think he is
There's no
too.
benefit to sitting him.
No, he's still got Darren Whitting over there, so I think
Is he?
Whitting would probably start this season.
I
He
think
had
he
some,
said he's gonna start Harper,
Right.
but if he's not playing well enough, he's gonna sit him.
Right. Okay.
And I don't mean in terms of wins and losses, but if his performance isn't.
Yeah, for me, I
right.
threw Lindquist in when I could have picked up a 50 rated veteran to get a better record, but I said, you know what? I just take my lumps now. Get it
Yeah.
over with.
Yeah, I suppose it depends. I mean, if Julio's, wants to if he thinks he's going to make the playoffs or whatever, and that guy could be the difference between making it and not making it, then maybe you'd give him a shorter leash. And if
He's got more talent around Harper than I had around Lindquist, so he should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. He picked very well. Very well. At 127, he got this guy.
I would have taken him if he didn't take him. I was talking to Bylanta about it for maybe 5, 6, 7 picks before he took him. So
Yeah, and Ben tried to trade up for the guy.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that kind of actually tells you maybe about the avoid interceptions. I don't know if Ben thinks about that pre-selection or whatever, but if it was good enough for Ben, then it would have been good enough for anyone else.
Absolutely. And then we have you with your left guard.
Yeah. I mean-
100 run. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
Running GM's guy right there.
Yeah.
Throw the sight Melman guard. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, like the end of the first round is I'm happy to take a guy like this because he'll be with me for his whole career if I can help it. So
Yeah, he looks great.
yeah, and I think he was I can't remember if he was a dumb star sign or not, but then I got like a fortunate dice roll where his intelligence come out as average. So that was even better because if he'd have been low, I was willing to take that as well, but he worked out at average, so he'll be good for me. And I've got a guy on the O-line who's aging out, so he'll probably sit for a season maybe and then come in next season. But he's exactly what I'd want from a offensive guard.
He's going to be rated as my Scout has him at 77. You got a 77 rated offensive lineman at 128.
Yeah. That's that run bar though. The fact that it's 100, that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting there. But
Yeah, run
Yep.
blocking is very good to overall ratings on every position.
yeah,
Run
I'll see
blocking
what,
or run defense, it's
yeah. So I've got him as like a 75 future, but it's the 100 run blocking that's going to do me good. And he's not like a massive sack liability because he's got 60 pass blocking as well, 60 future pass blocking.
you
So
know, for what you do on offense running wise, perfect.
yeah, he's perfect for me. And I've got enough of an offensive line in place at the moment that if he does have to come in through injury or something like that, hopefully we wouldn't lose too much cohesion and we wouldn't take a hit on intelligence or talent or whatever, because yeah, the rest of the line's already set up.
I
So
like
it
it.
felt like a no-brainer when I saw him still there. Basically, once the QB was gone, I was upset, but then it was like, right, well, this guy's just, I can't talk myself out of it.
Oh, so if Harper was there, you were going to take him?
Yeah, because Horner's in his 15th season, man. So he could go at any time, I feel. You know, even Ben was saying about Brady, like he was a bit shocked that he came back again because it's getting to like nail-biting point where I haven't got a backup plan if Horner retires, or 16th season, that's old.
Yeah, he's 37. Yep.
He was super young when he came in. He was like 20, just turned 20 or whatever when he came into the league. He was a 1% developed, I remember. And yeah, he took his first big hit last PS2 for the first time in his career since his second season. He went below a 60 rating, which is like, for me, that was a bit of a sad moment because I knew that was the beginning of the end. Up until then, he'd kind of been a bit evergreen, where he was just stayed the same for a long time.
Yeah.
But
You did a lot with Horner. Look at that. He has a passing rating of 100.
yeah. He's been my, probably him and McQueen, a running back that I had a while ago. They're my favorite players since I've been in the IHOF, the
Yeah,
20
he's a-
seasons or whatever.
Horner's just had a great career, man. Great career.
Yeah. It'd be nice if we could do something with him in the last season or so, but I don't know. I don't know if
Yeah,
we've got
but
enough talent
looks
everywhere
like
else.
looks like you were going to last year.
Yeah, but you hit the nail on the head when you said that we'd had a really
Easy-
favorable schedule. Yeah, and that's
Easy schedule. Yep.
that's actually something else I was going to say for this year. I don't know if you guys saw at the bottom of the post, Ben did the power rankings and the schedule again. But I think I
Yep.
was the 1 seed last year, and Ben was the 2 seed, I think. And both he and I are in the bottom 3 for easiest schedules. So I thought if you had a good regular season record, you get the harder regular season schedule the next year. So I don't know what the deal with
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah, technically you made the playoffs, and so did I, and I ended up in like the bottom 10th of the easiest schedules as well. So
Yeah.
Where
I don't know
where did you see this? And is it the season 4-5?
Yeah, maybe it was that one. Is that?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, if you keep scrolling down, I think it was. Yeah, it's underneath this. So yeah, look,
That's
schedule.
right.
So look, Ben's got the easiest schedule next season.
Okay, but
and
we
I've
have
got the
to.
easiest.
There is, it's based on the grades of the teams he gives, and it's heavily influenced by which divisions you play.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you play a relatively weak division, you're going to be high or low on the list.
Oh, okay. So it's to do with those grades that he uses in the power rankings. Is that what you mean?
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, so it's just a bit of a shock to me. I was expecting a tough schedule and to get found out this season and maybe go like 8-8 or 7-9 or something. But if the schedule plays out like that, I mean, I don't think it necessarily will to a T. It will be difficult, but
I
you
think
never know what's
I
gonna
think
happen.
you're playing Grimm's division this year.
Oh, see, I mean, that is a tough division.
Are we?
I think so. Yeah, but I think so because we're playing.
I can look it up right now.
Jug and Hanalei and those ones.
I don't
Yeah.
like the NC East. They can't even figure out who the best team in that division is, let alone, if we're going to come in there and try and get a win, because you guys are pretty much sometimes all of you are 500, aren't you? At the same time, there's not like a clear separation between top and bottom in that division, I don't think.
Oh,
Yeah.
with their
Yeah.
division.
With
Look at it right
Williamsburg, Brooklyn,
Yeah, we
Chesapeake,
play you
and Frederick.
guys.
Yeah, that's a tough division. Yeah, so you had 3 teams over 500 last year. So that's,
our-
and the year before that as well, and the year before that, and then one
Yep.
year, the year before that in 21-26, you had Williamsburg with 11 wins, and then everyone else had 10. They were 10-6. So all 3 remaining teams were 10-6, which is just crazy. The parity in that division.
I'm going to be playing that division with no quarterback. Wonderful.
Run the ball, Clay. Come on.
That's it.
You won't
2
do it.
yards, 2 yards to carry. Run the ball.
I don't have the blockers for it. I don't have the running back for it.
You've got about 7 quarterbacks on your roster right now, don't you?
I'm throwing darts at the wall. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I'm like,
Yeah.
give me somebody. I'm shaking the tree.
That's what they say, though. And if you got 7 quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks, basically. So
Yep. Isn't
Yeah.
Stradinsky still in there for
Yes.
free agents?
I was going to say, I was preparing for this, and then I looked at the free agency, and I saw Straczynski still out there, and I thought I'm going to take a look at every single team that should basically sign him, and I made the list, and it was like I found 9 teams, and then I looked at it and I said, well, of those 9 teams, there are only 2 or 3 teams that really, only 2 teams that should really have seen upgraded him. Well, Kansas is the top team on that list.
why is Colorado not competing with Kansas for this guy? If Colorado have got a good roster and they just need a QB to come in,
And they've got money too.
Colorado, I said it earlier, is the second worst quarterback situation behind Kansas.
Yeah, what about Bryceland? I had him on Moontown for a while. He's pretty useful, I think, especially if you've got a good pass blocking O-line, then his sense rush maybe is not such a drawback. He's got a big timing bar for you.
Let's see who doesn't like him. Hold on. I can get rid of that guy. As long as it's not my wide receiver that doesn't like him.
Is this going to be the first time that somebody signed a quarterback live on the IHOF?
Well, I as you guys know, here's my quarterback.
Ooh. Ooh.
See, some of those bars though, the sense rush is actually all right, and the timing.
So this is the rookie guy I picked up in the 4th round, but outside of that, and Forbes.
Yeah, just throw everything to Powell and Unatoa, and you'll be fine.
So, but I need a quarterback. But let's get back to this draft. Toronto takes this wide receiver, Hawkins.
I feel like he must have dropped. Did he drop?
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, not huge.
Getting down. Route running, yeah, a little bit.
I mean, he's got useful bars with the route running and the getting downfield, but
And no adjust. Or 2.
No.
I think
He can be your second wide receiver.
Yeah. I think Barlanta would be disappointed with that, though. I don't think he'd be very happy.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he did need wide receiver because his guys are aging up and pricing out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was worth a shot in his book, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would have drafted him in the first with that 0 adjust. That kind of
No.
a little bit telling.
Yeah, but I think like I said, the aging up of his wide receivers and and how much they're going to ask for, they're going to be one of those IHOF free agents to be list, whatever that's called.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of people on that list.
Yeah,
What's that?
the list that says free agents to be. I forget the title of it.
Yeah, the pending free agents of note
Yeah,
or
there you
whatever
go.
it says. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's on the it's in the auto bot poster things or whatever.
Yeah.
I am a
Potential
wide
free
receiver
agents of
for.
note.
Yeah.
He's for trade, but I want a quarterback, a decent quarterback at least, something decent.
Would you not go in for Straczynski for a season, Clay? Would you rather
Enough
roll?
money.
I can do Straczynski
You
for a
got-
season.
Plenty of money. You have 50 million in cap. You could do what you like with a free agent for that.
Mhm.
Yes. So I'll probably be picking up one of them.
Or are there any teams that have got 2 QBs in the league? Has anyone got 2 good QBs?
Well, there were a few cuts today, but I don't know if anything was a quarterback worth grabbing.
Yeah, there are a couple of teams who've got 2 quarterbacks that are both potential starters. I can't
think
actually
only
recall.
Chicago and Gothenburg, but one of them is
Chicago is one for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well
Yeah.
that's in division.
Chicago's not trading with me.
And I suppose Whiting from Gothenburg, you probably get 1 season out of him. And if Julio wants to keep the other guy on a short leash, I don't know if he'd get rid of him.
Oh yeah, Chicago can trade me Turner. I can do that.
I don't think he played Turner in the preseason. I think Jugs was talking about that yesterday with me and Chris.
What?
He kind of done
He's
because
got quite a bit of rust too.
yeah,
so.
he's still got rust.
He might have wrecked preseason and not remembered.
you can't
What?
rush your preseason because this guy is not going to play.
Yeah,
You
'cause I
have
had
to.
to always remember to put Lindquist in because if not, Siplon would be the starter, and I missed him one game one year.
I
And,
mean, when
Yep.
he's on 17%, he's got to play, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
he's one of those check the box on his name.
You don't think he's going to play him this season?
He has to,
I
surely.
think it'd be a
Yeah,
big
he
difference
has
if he
to.
didn't.
I was just
That-
pointing out that he didn't play in the preseason, which was really weird.
Yeah.
When a guy's that green, I think you just
Yeah,
have to
and
take.
especially
take
if
your
we have
lumps
no
every-
injuries on and just play him.
Just look at Bordeaux last season. He
Yeah. Yeah.
he made the playoffs with his rookie quarterback.
Yeah,
Bardo?
that guy was
Yeah,
so much
and-
fun
Not
to.
that
And he
guy,
was very green.
No, not that guy.
This
Yeah,
guy.
this guy. Yeah.
He didn't. He was still very green last season at the
Yeah.
It
start.
was.
Yeah.
It was. Guys, I have to jump off now. So
Okay, man.
All right, take it
Okay.
easy, B.
Nice
All right,
to-
Take it easy, Boots.
yeah,
Friday.
good luck. Good luck in the season. Nice talking to you all.
See you, man.
Thanks for
All right,
hosting,
brother.
Clay. See ya.
Be good.
Later, brother.
Take care.
I'll try.
Grim, your pick.
Ah. Fucking
Hit the bomb.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I was talking with Jugs a couple days ago, and he's like, that was a reach pick, and so I sent him my scouting information on him. I'm like, he had full run blocking and all the bottom bars, you know, endurance and punishing
Yeah.
hitter, all that shit was maxed. And then Jugs sends me back his scouting, and he looks like this because Jugs has a better scout. I mean, my scout was 80 on defense, and Jugs was like 89. I'm like, there's that much fucking
9-point
difference
swing,
in those
wow. 9
points. I'm like, holy shit. So. I mean, I'm hoping to play him and maybe have the bars kick back up a little bit, but just it was a reach pick, I guess. You know, I have a McGregor, a longtime defensive tackle that's probably going to retire next season. But he's just, I'm just so disappointed in this. I was really hoping that the bars that I saw were going to fucking hold up, and he would be a great run stopper for us for the next 10 years. And like I said, if those bars don't pop up next season, then I'm probably just going to get rid of him, you know?
All right, let's take this player that you were saying. Do you start him and hope that his bars pop up to give him the full 16 games starting to be able to pop up?
No, I'll probably just play him in one formation just to see how he goes, just to get him some starts. You know, he won't start every game because it's hard to get you guys to start on defense, you know, unless they
Yeah,
play
put
at
him in
every
the
single
one wide
position.
receiver set. That'll be a safe bet.
Yeah.
Keep them on.
131 and 221. He can handle that.
Yep. So he'll just probably play in a couple of those odd formations and just to try to get him some experience. And then again, I'll pray to God that he pops. I mean, click on him. How much did he lose, Clay?
A chunk.
So the scouts show and league scouts showing that he was a 54. Then after he went down to a 42. I have him
Yeah,
at 41.
Yeah,
It's
that's
on that
12.
run defense.
Yeah,
The
that's
run defense took a 15-point hit, at least on Clay's view.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's what did it right there. It just guttered him. 12-point loss, man. Just bad.
And you lost endurance. Went from 86 to 64.
Yeah, which is weird. That's a lot. That's a
He's got
huge hit.
the special teams and all the other stuff held up with just that top three, the ones that you want the most.
Yep.
It's always painful when this happens, but I think if you look at some of the guys that went at the top of the second round as well, it makes it a little bit worse because
Yeah, because there's definitely other guys I could have got there.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I was just getting desperate for a defensive tackle because I have the one that's going to retire soon, probably next season, because I'm not resigning him. But but at least I didn't pick this guy at 115 or something. At least it was the end of the first, and this will probably only be the second time my first round pick has busted since I started playing this game. So
Not bad then. Not a bad hit rate.
Because he had the combines and everything else. It was just random
yep,
hit.
We
Yeah,
talked
just a
about
weird
this.
drop.
I think it's a little bit in the middle because I looked at this guy as well because my defensive tackle retired, and I looked at this guy and he came back very overrated and was like, maybe not.
Well, he looks.
See, I didn't interview him, so
I mean, his combines look as good as my defensive tackle I took the year before that only played a mere 17 snaps before he snapped his leg in half. It's like,
oh,
and my guy survived the injury and now looks still pretty good. But his combines were the same as Shaw, more or less.
What kind of season? Because if his drop was random, he's gonna have worse combined scores next season.
What is the percentage that we're off on the settings? Meaning that the scouting is not 100%; it's at 75% or 50%, and so on and so forth. So even if you have a 90+ scouter, the scouting's still 75% accurate. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
I was just going to say, is it 50? Do you mean the combine accuracy settings or whatever?
Yes, that's it. That's the word I was looking for.
Think
Words.
But the combine setting just means how close their scores are compared to their bars.
Yeah, like how much
Doesn't
can you
say
read into
anything
the
about
combines alone?
scouting.
Yeah.
Got it.
In other leagues like the NAFL, the bars give a better tell than the combines do, and can mess you up.
That happens here
And
too.
this one's scouting over 75. You stand a good chance.
Right.
So if you guys see a high combine scores, but the bars are very low, do you grab that player? And I'm going to add to this, you're a top 10 pick.
Ooh, that's scary.
yeah, that's scary.
I feel like you'd have to be pretty stuck for choice if you were going to put yourself in that position in the top 10 or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, I know that Archie Francis that Chris had drafted back in numerous years at 1.6. He was drafted the same year I drafted Harden at 1.5. His bars weren't all that great, but his combines were fantastic. So Chris took a chance on him, and his bars shot up. So, well, that's something I try to stay away from in the early rounds. At the later rounds, you see a guy with great combines and shit bars, give it a chance.
Yeah, I think if it was a top 5, top 10, I'm looking for something that I can hang my hat on a bit more.
Everything has to hit in that range. In top 10, it has to hit. All the check boxes have to be there. There can't be any, well, if I get this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm just looking at that Archie Francis guy. So when he first came out, he was a 40 current and a 48 future, and then he jumped up to a 70 future after PS2. Yeah. So Chris trusted the combines on that one, did you say?
Yeah.
You must have.
Like I said, I was hemming and hawing between that guy and Harden in that draft, and I ended up taking Harden, and he's done okay.
Yeah. No,
And we have the last two players here. We saw Lager. Nice pick by Nemesis.
He's going to be a fucking nightmare. God.
Yeah.
And then look at this guy. How did I miss this guy?
This is
Look
the
at
guy
the
you
height.
wanted.
I know. That's also.
Ben loves the
Yeah.
turnovers, doesn't he? He loves to force a turnover.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. He's going to be good.
He was at a 58 future. Now he's at a 65. Yeah.
He looks nice. I mean, a man-to-man bar like that, playing at cornerback is, what is it, cover 2? I guess cover 2 is the one that uses the man-to-man.
Yep.
the most. isn't it, for cornerbacks? Cover 1, cover 2, yeah. And then cover 3 cloud if he's played on the left-hand side. But he looks good. And Ben, the thing with Ben is when you play against his teams, at least this is how I think he builds his defenses, because he's so often going in front against you, it forces you to try and chase the game and pass on him, and then he just picks you off and kills you. You know, because in those games there's so many possessions because he's either scoring or giving you the ball back and then taking it off you again or whatever. So
Yeah,
his defense is built around that stuff.
Yeah, he's got a great secondary.
Yeah, yeah, because he knows you're going to have to throw.
Make a mistake and he's up on your 7 more.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny. This is the player he picked at 132. Look at the cornerbacks that went before him. Mine at 117. Hanalei. He comes in at 125, and then Bardot.
Yeah, you also have to add the safety from Fort Wayne. He was also a cornerback.
Who?
Shapiro, number 10. Number 10, yeah, free safety. That's it.
Yeah, he was a cornerback. In the draft.
He's an elite player, though. I think that guy. I think the other guys are all good, but they all feel like sort of, you know, much of a same
and
mold.
Ben Scatbar is 99 to boot. So
yeah. But these 3 guys all look like they're cut from the same cloth. They've all got big man-to-man bars and then decent interception bars, you know, big interception bars. They're all very similar profiles, I think.
Yeah. Nice pick, Ben. All right, so Monday, do we have a file that has to be in by tomorrow, by the way, guys?
I think
Yeah, one more.
midweek tomorrow.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go for quarterbacks and see.
You got
if
one
I
more
land it.
shot.
If not, I'm going in with those 77 million quarterbacks on my team.
Yeah, what are you going
all
to
of
do?
them added up don't even equal a 60 rated quarterback, right?
I'll play one against you. No, I'll play one against Chicago.
You're just platooning at QB. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna roll die, and number 1 is gonna be number 1 on the list, and if it's number 2,
Yeah. What's happened to the guy on your roster, Grim? Is it Petrezic? He's blue on my screen. Is he suspended?
Yeah, no, he's holding out.
Oh, he's holding out.
He's holding out.
There's
It's
your
like,
guy,
dude.
Clay.
Yeah, it's like you don't play well enough to fucking get the 20-some million he's asking. I think he's asking 28 million. I think in the first year anyway. So it's like, yeah, I'm not doing it. So he'll just sit there and hold out until he comes back, and then maybe he'll play. I'm gonna have to start that Bergendahl guy, which I'm not thrilled about. But
Is he? Oh, he was from Cap City. I thought he was from Gothenburg.
no, he's from Cap City, so
Nice. He looks all right though.
yeah.
I
mean,
like him.
the sense rush is okay. The scramble, I love scrambling guys. I always try to have those on my team, so he's not going to do much in regards to that. But
No.
you know, we'll see. And then my cohesion's going to fucking drop an ass ton having to start him too. So
Yeah.
I'll trade you for him. I like him.
you can't. I signed him in free agency this year. So
He was out there and I missed this guy.
yep,
yeah,
yeah, I got him for relatively cheap too. So
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
yeah, you know, 10 million a year. That's about what I'd like to pay my quarterbacks.
everybody does.
Yeah, which is why I never have a great one.
But Colorado, by the way, he did pick up a quarterback in
Yeah, I traded for the guy from. No, that was Orlando. Sorry.
who was it that was? Oh, that's Orlando. Yeah, Colorado. He picked up I could have swore he got somebody.
I signed this guy 2 seasons ago.
Hmm.
What does that?
rookie.
What does that rookie look like? Dwayne Benson. Oh, okay.
He's doing like I'm doing, trying to get whatever we can.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be in that same spot, Millman, soon.
I'll be there. My time will come eventually. My time will come. That's the thing with getting a QB. You know, I'm not a good enough GM to be able to feel like I can just pick anyone up and work magic on them. You know, I mean, Horner, I got him. We went 4-12, I think, in like my third season or second season, and we got Horner at 1-2. You know, Ben traded up 1-1 and got Brady, and then I got Horner at 1-2. And you know, when you have a franchise QB, I don't know, I haven't spent any time thinking about what's going to happen after he's gone, but I'm going to have to. And that guy Julio really felt like, I thought he was going to drop to me, so he felt like the succession plan. But yeah, back to the drawing board on that one.
So Horner, you got in 21-15.
Yeah.
And then he took off for you.
Yeah. Well, he came in as a 1% guy, and I just played him right from the start. So that was it. But he did pretty well straight off. We went 6-10, like you see that first season. Then ever since then, he's been good. So even though he was a low dev percentage, he has done really good for us.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I can expect that from every QB I'm going to get after him. I think there's going to be some rough years making a transition, because it's not just his ability; it's losing that 15 seasons of cohesion when he goes as well.
Yeah, I wonder when Iowa's going to get his team like really going. He needs a quarterback as well.
He likes that Alexis Wynn, though, doesn't he? That's who he drafted.
Wynn's not terrible looking.
I'm popping him up.
So he could be a game manager.
Yeah, he's got a really great defense this year, though, too. So
yeah.
And I think the issue is because just as he gets the team assembled, it falls apart with the cap issue.
Yeah.
Well, at least he's trading guys now.
Yeah,
like
he's now recycling, which is perfect.
He traded that safety to San Antonio this year for that first round pick that he got that defensive end in. So, you know, he's starting to, and I took Bauer. I just say, hey, don't cut Bauer. I'll give you a third round pick for him. So, you know, that was a disaster, but you know, whatever. we all know about Bauer.
Would you believe he's on a team again? He's in Cap City.
Yes.
Jake Bauer. I think he's in Cap City, yeah.
Yeah, Cap City signed him last season.
And he re-signed him this season.
I mean, that guy, when he retires, we're gonna have to calculate his total career earnings, because he's just stolen a living in this league because he's never played well, and he's signed some big deals. Look at his current contract.
Yeah, over 60 million for this season. Wow,
60 million this guy wants.
Yeah, and he dropped this year.
He did nothing to help Cap City. He gave him 14 interceptions for every 14 touchdowns. He was 1-to-1.
He's got a career touchdown less than interception record.
Oh,
yards per attempt 6.32. I mean, it's just it's amazing. He's lasted.
Well, I think he gets away because he always has that nice future and current rating. His bars look pretty.
I mean, the big red bars is what's doing it. He's living off those big red bars, but he's never produced really.
And then whatever system you put him in, he says, I'm going to make this not work.
Yeah,
he totally does. He fooled Grim. Iowa got him at 1-3.
Yeah,
I didn't even see the best season he had. He only played 14 games, but he still threw 14 touchdowns. Was the last one. He had what was the best season he had?
It's that 22 and 17, is it? In 21-26.
His rookie year, right? 82 passing rating.
I tried to sign him last season. Sorry.
You tried to sign him as well?
Yeah, last season. When I look now at this Saints rush, I'm just really glad I didn't.
Yeah.
It was going to get sacked 70 times on my team.
Who's your QB? Because you had a bit of a revolving door situation for a few years with Bart Tanner and a few other people. Who's your guy?
I had that Wilson guy for a bunch of seasons, and now I'm down to Marsh.
I'm bringing him up right now.
I got one of the guys that started for me 2 seasons ago. This is now my quarterback. He's not spectacular. It's basically just the avoid interceptions rating.
But this is your quarterback, right?
Yep. And he's going to be for another season or 2.
How many games did he win for you the other season?
He won 9 games for me in 28. but last season we went 7-9 with him, so it evens out.
Surely he's going to have to be your QB for the length of that contract, because you wouldn't want to cut him if he's still got, like, say you had him this season and next season. You wouldn't
Yeah,
cut him.
when I signed him, I said, okay, it means he's going to be my quarterback at least for 3 more seasons, because you can't afford to put a guy on the bench with a contract like that. I kept him out this off season, so it escalates into the next couple of seasons.
Right.
To get even worse with the bonus money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna be stuck with this guy, no matter what, whether he plays well or not.
I have a question. The question is, you told me to go after those 2 quarterbacks, yes? Why didn't you go after those 2 quarterbacks?
Because I've got money invested in this guy.
Hmm.
There's
That's
no way.
the only reason.
Oh, I thought that was $2 million. It's $20 million.
Yeah. So he's going to be getting 60 million next year. He's going to be on that Bauer money.
Yeah,
Oh.
But he looks like he could be a good game manager. You know, high avoid interceptions, scramble frequency, sense rush is not high.
I think the offensive line situation really crushed this guy last season.
Right. What was he just running for his life?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, 56 sacks.
Oh yeah, 56 sacks.
This is a guy that isn't supposed to be sacked 56 times.
No.
Yeah. That's right. We looked at your team last time, and you had the highest on.
Yeah, it was the worst ever for my team.
We were pretty high too last year. We were in the 50s club too in North Plainfield. It wasn't pretty.
Who was your quarterback?
Lindquist.
I'm bringing him up right now.
Yeah, he got plopped down to 50 plus too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 52. Wow.
But you're also throwing.
But
the
we
ball
also had no
6
threat of the run game, so it was all pass. So he's standing up there trying to hit somebody and gets hit.
Yeah, but, I mean, you were also throwing the ball 600 times. So
Exactly. So
you had 700.
like I said, our run game didn't scare nobody.
I think on my team it's only 600. So 56 on 600 or 50 on 700. Quite a big margin.
Yeah, so that's why getting the running back was a godsend, so to speak. It's like, thank you. I can now not have to throw the ball so many goddamn times.
How many fumbles came of those 52 sacks?
I'd have to look it up, but I don't remember if it was awful or not.
The fumbles underneath the rushing, are they counted as results of sacks as well, or is that just from?
Yeah, that's also the sacks. So you get that's reasonable for fumbles.
4 fumbles on 52.
I can live with that. It's getting smacked down 52 times and only dropping a 4. That's okay.
I bet my guy had fumbled about 10 times.
Yeah, what was MIJB's guy? Fumbles.
We can see right now.
And are we going to do a higher or lower on these sack numbers for the upcoming season? Do you think you're going to be 56?
I think I'm going to be in the 30s. I want to be in the 30s.
That would be the magic number.
9 fumbles. Wow. Ouch.
Yeah. It's just unusual.
But I think you had a better run game on your guy. At least you could hand it off to somebody without going, okay, I got to throw the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to keep this guy also because of his speed.
My biggest threat to run was a reverse with Dole. Other than that, you weren't going to see anything up the middle coming at you that you couldn't stop.
What's his speed? Lindquist.
Yeah.
So he's not really a scrambler, your guy either, Rick.
No.
He's going to hang in the pocket and take that sack.
He's got, for the offense that I run, he's got the bars that I'd like to use.
Yeah.
And I wish he had scramble because I really like that bar too. I would like Boots' quarterback. That's the guy. Like that's Michael Vick right there.
And you have to think that would shave a nice number off those sacks as well if you could just take off instead.
You just move an inch that way and go.
Yeah.
You mean this guy, Logan?
Yeah, he looks nice.
Yeah.
Let me see. What's his speed?
Look at that. That's Michael Vick bar right there.
Yeah, he's going to go if he gets the
Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson.
He ran a 440 dash in 444.
Where who was
Yeah,
running?
that's last season. This season he ran a 4:44. So this guy is really speedy. So even
Oh, this guy.
yeah.
Wow.
So this guy is
He ran a 440.
he can
Who are we
hit.
speaking of?
This
This
guy.
guy.
Logan.
Apparently those combines are for last season, so they haven't updated.
Let me.
The combines that you see on the website are the rookie combines.
Oh, his rookie ones. Okay. So he
Okay.
runs 440, man. And with
If you
that
go in
scramble-
game, you can see the 444 I talked about.
Okay.
Let me move this out of the way so I can go in game and see.
But for me, that the 40 dash was the tiebreaker to keep Marsh and to get rid of the other guy that I had.
That's crazy. Isn't it?
I mean, it's still, even for the veterans, it's also sort of random, but 444 just means he's on the high end of the running efficiency.
Yeah.
It's not just that the scramble frequency is high, but I mean, it helps, but his running skills are there too.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wonder
he
if
should- I would do design run with this guy.
because so the scramble frequency is just the propensity to take off. How often are they going to go for it? Then the 40 time comes into it. But then if you try to convert him to a running back, is there like a hidden hole rec bar that would give away how
Yeah,
good he is at?
I think
finding the
somebody
holes.
did that once just to see, and if you see a high hole wreck, you might have a chance.
Yeah, because I do wonder how much goes into whether a guy is a good scrambler or just someone who gets, 1 or 2 positive yards when he could have got sacked. Because
Yeah, I mean, when I made the choice for my quarterback, the guy that I cut this off season, he was a scrambler, but he didn't get the first down when he did scramble for it.
right,
And the guy that I kept, he was getting that first down.
yeah,
So if he's going to scramble on third down and he's going to get it or he's not going to get it, it makes a huge difference.
massively, yeah. So there's got to be something else that goes into it then that dictates what makes a good scrambler versus just a guy who gets out of the pocket and gets 1 or 2 yards.
There are a lot of teams that have good quarterbacks on their team. A lot of good teams.
I got to say that
just those last few drafts, man. Holy shit.
Who?
Oh, I just was talking about the quarterbacks. I mean, those last couple of drafts, not this last one. Well, this last one, we had another stud. The one before that, there was 2 studs. The one before that, there was 4. So it's like, geez.
that's still what we did the last time when we were about to close it down. When you look at the recommend screen for quarterbacks.
Yeah. So if you go into the
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Recommend, and we'll go to current
And then
quarterbacks.
I
we'll go
would
future.
say current works too, but future is maybe even better.
Future.
Of
How's
the
that?
top 16 guys, I think 12 of them are rookie, second year, or third year guys.
Yeah, it's the next generation coming through.
This is a huge. This is unusual for this league. It really is.
Yes, it
I
really
can't
is.
remember the last time the bottom of this list was a 50. Usually it's 45, and then it's like 7 or 8 guys that don't even hit 50.
Yeah. I mean, we had the Brady and Horner and Donovan draft class, and then we had a kind of empty few years, and then there was Quick's guy, Darren Tucker, and Jake Bauer, who, we've spoken about hundreds of times. And then we had like years of just, average guys, like you see that Artie Williamson, any guys who sort of 6, 7, 8, 9 years in. And then now it seems like the next generation of elite QBs in the last 3 or 4 years have been generated by the game.
There are 16 teams that I counted all the way down that it gets to this rookie layer. I have a quarterback, so that's half the league.
Yeah.
And the other half is just on the outside.
I mean, my guy is the third guy from the bottom, and it's a 52, and it's now it's meh. But 3 seasons ago, all those guys, the rookies, the second year guys, the third year guys, they weren't there. There were maybe 3 other guys in front. So my guy was about the 12th best quarterback, and now he's the 23rd best.
Yeah, there's been an insane injection of talent into the league.
That's my point.
Yeah. That Van Pelt and Barker, those two, when they came in 1.1 and 1.2, that was.
Yeah, next season's going to be ugly because it's extend Lindquist time.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
They do it this year, but he wants 80. I
Yeah.
ain't giving you fucking 80 this year. Maybe next year we'll try something.
Yeah,
So I
that's true.
extended my
So,
tight end and my
Yeah,
defensive end.
all 4 of those guys need to be re-signed next year. That's
Yeah.
It's going to be
that's
ugly.
going to be crazy.
we're going to
Oh,
see
these
some
guys. Let me.
insane salaries. Yeah.
Yeah, Barker, Van Pelt, Lindquist, and Quick's guy, or Saw's guy as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, Saw extended his guy. He pulled off the good one. He did a 324 million, but the first 2 years are 50s, and then he'll just refi somewhere in the middle.
Oh, he already re-signed him. Nice.
Yeah, he did good there.
Oh, that's smart move to
And I tried
resign
to
a
do
guy
it, but
in the third
Lindquist
year.
just kept asking for too much. So I weighed my options. I have 3 guys I want to extend. I'll do 2 and save 1 for next.
So you think it's going to be 80 million?
I hope not.
It might be.
I really
yeah.
hope not.
I mean,
But I'll try to do them for 60 and something like that. Build from there.
Yeah, but I feel like we've seen higher salaries than that. Like Clay, if you go to this page on the website where it shows the highest cap hits by position,
Yes.
have a look at that for QBs. Because I feel like there's been some crazy salaries that we've paid out to QBs recently well,
Biggest cap hits.
over the last 10 seasons or so.
You want this or you want the one that says
No, this is fine.
top salaries?
This is
Oh.
fine. I actually thought 80 million was going to be.
Here, I'll read you what
more
Lindquist
normal.
wants for this season. He wanted 80, 98, 88, 96, and 108.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
430 over 5. I said, oh hell no, I'm not giving you 430 over 5.
All right. I
We'll wait
thought that was a
till,
bit more
next year.
reasonable than it actually seems. Man, Quick is getting a hell of a deal on his guy.
Yeah. No, I was talking with Chris and Jugs about that just the other night. I think he's doing some cap out stuff, and yeah,
Because
he's
he's
got
not
some.
he's not sitting him. I know sometimes people sit their guy, don't they, the year before the contract renewal or whatever.
Yeah.
but He hasn't done any of that.
Click on Tucker there, Clay. We can see his
108.
contracts on the bottom there once he loads up.
Because that is crazy good value.
He's like 130 million, I think, for Brady.
Wow.
Oh, you want to go all the way?
Yes, scroll down, brother.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
look
let me
at
move
these
this out of the way.
renegotiations. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's kept on at him.
So that second contract he got 4 years, 66 million, and then 3 years for 49,
And he hasn't kept him out the last couple of seasons.
and then two years for 33. It's like, whoa,
How do you get those numbers?
I don't know. That's what we were trying looking at that shit, trying to figure it out. I
I
don't know if
don't-
they're
those
cap outs
Those
or
are probably cap outs.
Yeah, because
Aren't they?
because Lindquist has 2-year cap out that's really low, but it's not going to give me any benefit. So I said, screw it. But it looked like that low.
Yeah, but all those are cap outs. It's got to
Yeah,
be.
little mini cap outs.
yep.
They just buy you time till you have money.
Yeah. It's good value though at that dollar rate. for
Yeah,
that
yeah.
talent
And that
level.
the last big contract he signed, that was still really good value. So
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a that's top salaries, not the top salaries, but the big. All right, we can look at the top salaries. So here we go. Brady's getting 62 million.
So that
season.
basically means he hasn't been kept out.
But I think he's getting
62
50,
and a shit ton of bonus. Puts
yeah,
him
he's
at
getting like
100.
45 million in bonus or something.
Wow.
So he's 100
yeah, he's
something.
137
wallet.
million.
Oh my
75 million bonus.
Man. He's really held his ratings though. Every year rolls around, he's kind of stayed the
I'm
same.
hoping some of these expensive quarterbacks retire so the pay scale throttles down for me.
Yeah, no shit, right?
If he doesn't resign him now on a new contract, he might retire because he doesn't have a future contract.
Do you think
Yeah,
Ben
I
would
think-
let him go? Like let it take the risk that he would go into free agency and then try and bid on him again, or
Wow.
because there's no tag.
This is probably one of the guys that he does want to retire as a Tucker Tiger.
Yeah, I mean he's done amazing things, hasn't he?
So that's a yes that he's going to re-sign him again. Yes.
Well, he's got one more day to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got too much chances. So
Yeah, I think the tea leaves say he's banking on him retiring.
Yeah. Well, he
Let's
said
see.
he was trying to trade up for that guy that Julio took, didn't he? So he's obviously thinking about it, thinking about the next guy, next man up.
sure.
Wonderful. That's
You
someone we have to
you
compete
got
with
a
trying to
team.
get him.
But do you guys remember before this QB that Ben had a couple of guys that were nothing to look at before this guy, and his team was still amazing. I remember
Yeah,
he had a
made him
guy
work.
who had like 3 bars basically, who just had no talent whatsoever, but his avoid interception rating was really high, and Ben was still throwing like 60 touchdowns with him. So
Look at the honors.
Right,
as
but this
Look at
guy
this.
is still winning 3 games more for him than every other quarterbacks in the 20, 30 seasons before that. So
yeah, it's just
Look
crazy.
how many offensive player of the year. Look how many bowl VIP.
Yeah, because there was a while, wasn't there, where Ben was going to the bowl and then he wasn't winning it or whatever. And yeah, they've been on a roll the last 5 seasons where he's been going and winning. So
he's played in 10 of the last 11 bowl games. So
that's crazy.
it's unprecedented.
Yeah.
Even
that
for
trade.
him, even for
That trade
Ben.
was worth it.
Yeah, make him do it with 40 rated quarterbacks instead of 60 to 80 rated ones.
But
You just don't-
that's what I mean though. Before this guy, he didn't have. I can't remember who his last QB was before this, but I don't feel like he was that good.
I can
German
get him
I
on
remember when
there.
the trade went down where he got Brady, I think there was a little bit of a rumblings in the jungle.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
you can't give a guy in the same conference that
Oh, yeah.
the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, Taylor played a couple seasons, but it was that German Terry guy who was just
Yeah,
never
that
even
was
got
it, yeah.
50
Yeah,
rated.
right.
Yeah, German Terry, Daryl Taylor. Yeah, so he had guys who were, nothing to write home about, and they were still throwing 51 touchdowns, 58 touchdowns.
And he made him offensive player of the year too. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean,
Look,
it shows Ben can win with this kind of quarterback too.
that German Terry in his entire career, well, according to the league scout, his overall never went above 46.
Yeah, this guy was at best the 20 best guy in the league.
Yeah.
On ratings.
Yeah.
But
So
Ben made him play like the best quarterback in the league.
maybe then I don't need to go after those 2 quarterbacks out in the free agency. Maybe I'll try to work it with my guys.
just have to game plan like Ben and
throw it on every down.
and you'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, fellas, that was fun.
Yeah.
I love
Thanks a lot
it.
for doing this, man. Thank
We're
you.
almost hitting the 3-hour mark.
It felt it went by pretty quick for me.
Yeah,
It did.
Me too.
It did, yeah.
The draft episodes always do though, when you're talking about the prospects and stuff.
Before we go, I want to hear your prediction on your team record. We'll start with you, Grim.
I'm probably gonna switch spots with Jops. I don't know that he'll come out on top, but I'll be bottom of the barrel this year. I think I'm thinking 6-10, maybe 5-11. But I also thought that last year and went 11-5. So I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm going to try, but my defensive line is in fucking shambles. Still got a couple good linebackers. My cohesion on my offensive line is going to be 100 again, so that's good. Emerson, hopefully he can take the spot of Hansen for at least one season, and maybe 8-8. I don't know, but I'm calling bottom of the division for sure. I mean, Quick just got too many good guys this season, and and Frederick is Frederick, and Peters is there. It's just going to be insane, and I'm thinking Jops is going to bounce back next year. So I think I'll be at the bottom.
Mattis?
I'm anything below 10-6 is a disappointment to me, but I'm afraid my team is going to be similar to last season. So I suspect we're going to be 6-10, 7-9, something like that.
Rick?
let's see, we went 3-13 the year before, then 7-8-1. So by that progression, I'll take anything 10 to 12 wins, I hope. Because I know I have a running back.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice for you, man.
Because it was ugly without one. It really was. But as odd as it seems, it took me trading a quarterback or trading a running back to get a quarterback to end up getting a running back 3 years later. Okay.
Yep.
Full circle right there.
Yeah.
Melman?
I mean, I just looking at my schedule while everyone else was saying their predictions. So I play 3 of the games against the NC Easter on the road, and then we play Ben's division. So I've got like Tucker, Augusta, Orlando, who have been good. So I mean, 9 and 7, I feel like would be a good season there. I'd like to 10 and 6 so that I can keep on the double-digit win streak, but I'd have to say 9 and 7 just because the road schedule is tough.
Ooh, those are the rough seasons, playing the Southeast and the Mid-Atlantic in the same season.
Yeah, that's tough. So I've got no idea how those preseason schedule things were coming up with the easy schedule because that looks tough. So 9 and 7, I think, and will that be enough to win the division? I don't know. Some years it is, some years it isn't.
I don't see who's going to give you any competition in our division yet.
Yeah, you got the baby quarterback in Chicago. You've got Clay, if he finds a quarterback that could change.
Yeah.
And then Joe, I don't know what Joe's got going. If he's going to run the ball, throw the ball, who knows?
He's got good defense. That's where his
But he
strength
needs
is,
to be able to score points.
Yeah. So yeah, 9 and 7 is what I think.
Since I don't have a quarterback, 6 and 10, maybe 7 and 9. That's where I'm seeing my team.
Trying to trade some of that future draft capital, buddy.
Get that guy, get that Straczynski or whoever it is in free agency.
There you go.
You'll be all right.
A 1-year rental right there.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a steady,
I
steady
have
hand.
I have to give you a run for your money, Melvin.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing with your offense. If you've got a guy in there who can sling it, then you can always score points. You might give away a lot of points as well, but you'll always score some. So,
Absolutely. All right, fellas. Thanks for coming on. It's been awesome. Let me make sure I've been
yeah, you checked it at the start.
Yeah, you're recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, it told me you were recording when I joined, so
okay.
Yeah,
Good.
me too.
It's
Yeah, me
right
too.
here.
Well, thanks for organising it, man. It's always fun.
Yeah, thanks again.
Great stuff.
Yeah, good luck for week 1 to everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you too.
all right, later,
All right.
gents.
See you guys. Take care.
Take it easy.